restarted the show
No, I'm just a fan.
Oh, it's missing.
What y'all thought that was?
You hit that pipe on the ashtray. You hit that pipe on the ashtray. Jug sitting up here.
We don't have a full one sitting up here in the hot second.
Yeah, it's on. I got to restart the show. My phone to play the show. The file missing.
You hand me my phone.
All praise, we didn't have no issues.
You want me to go get that out your truck? Put $10 in there. I got you.
Hey, you know you're lying. I'm talking all that. Hey!
I'm just assuming you show me.
That's what's up.
Moses called
Watch out, man. You watch out.
Don't treat me like that.
Don't treat you like that. Only with you. Only with you on a constant basis.
But you back up, man. I see you.
I ain't saying love you.
What'd you say, bro?
We back up, I can see you.
Back up.
Yeah, I said this. Yeah. All praise to the Most High, boy. That was ugly.
Oh, it's still ugly because this ain't tight enough.
How'd you get up? What I need to press?
What do we see?
Take that up to the side.
Press the joint with the red dot on it.
Yes?
At the bottom.
Is that good, bro?
Yeah, we good. We good.
Is it at the top?
What did you do?
You want to get a whooping for the whole world to see?
If the cars don't go ready to the road or something moving the cars.
Somebody taking it down.
Yeah, he be taking it down.
Yeah, too bad. They talking about even the table.
Yeah.
We'll just put, I put 2 chairs in.
Blame it on the substitute. Blame it on the substitute.
2 chairs like
Blame it on the substitute. We live. Blame it on the substitute. We live. Blame it on the substitute.
Hey, no.
I'm doing the best I can.
No, don't worry about it. Don't waste that. Put them 2 chairs though. That'll keep it out of the way for sure.
Just make people start going around.
Yeah.
Hey, Boaz. We just talked about that, didn't we? That pillar.
Oh, man. Watch out. It ain't necessary. Just get it going. We live. Still playing around.
You lie. Right out talking about my other. I got some. Yeah. Yeah, I thought so. That's familiar to me. Take pressure points. Yes, sir. That's what's up.
Good rebounds there.
Rebound. I ain't catch nothing. By the grace of the Most High, they go into pieces.
I know that's right. Kept it to a minimum. Our praises to the mighty God.
Because he playing.
He ran with it.
He take somewhere.
People come in.
Touch. Brother Daniel, can you do, just for your, in case, yeah, that's all you have to do. That's all, just keep it. Opens your sinuses. Just in case something is around, just in case we're not fearful. But
Right over there. He said he took it. He heard him say that.
You didn't eat it, did you?
are we ready?
We already live.
All right.
Live before it failed.
Y'all know how we do, y'all. So can we edit all that out? All that falling stuff?
Not on the.
Oh, not on live.
It don't even matter. It
All
don't
right,
even
so
matter at this point.
y'all know how we do it. Look like it's just family here, y'all. We turn toward Holy Jerusalem as recorded in 1 Kings, 8th chapter, Daniel chapter 6, verse 10. We also hold our hands high because we want the Most High to lift us up. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 8. Y'all also, men are to uncover their head when praying or prophesying within the assembly. Women are to cover their head when praying or prophesying within the assembly. Shabbat shalom to everybody. Shabbat shalom to the worldwide family.
We'll get
Happy feast day.
Get this opening prayer with the Most High's permission. In the name of His only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. We know him as Jesus the Christ. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 91st chapter, it reads, He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahweh, He is my refuge and my fortress.
Yes, sir.
My Elohim, in Him will I trust.
Yes.
Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
Yes.
Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night,
That's right.
nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday.
Yes.
1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Because thou hast made the Most High, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation.
Yes.
There shall no evil befall thee.
That's right.
Neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and adder, the young lion and the dragon shall thou trample under feet.
Yes.
Because he hath set his love upon me,
Yes.
therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him.
That's right.
I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Hallelujah! Say
All right, y'all. All right.
Ariel, what's the name?
91.
Hey, what's the name of the class? Title of the class?
One voice crying in the wilderness.
No.
One voice crying in the wilderness. Shabbat shalom, y'all.
Shabbat shalom, family.
Shabbat shalom to the world. Today, Most I put this class on me through the Spirit like earlier this week or something like that, again to show his people at these times and the things that are going on in the world. We all know the world has changed overnight. That's what I tell these little cats out here. I say, do you all realize that the world has changed overnight?
The Most High put it on lock.
Let's put it on lockdown. Everything that's going on right now, he told me, let's just go in here and look at some times when we was, as a people, been through things like this before, but they never been like this. Okay, this one here is different where it affects the entire planet. So he said, just go show our people times where we've been through things before that he's seen us through and kept us separate from the rest of the world of being his people. What we're gonna read about today, he's only talking to his people. Okay, so we just gonna go back. We're gonna take a look at Noah at this time when he gave everybody 120 years to repent and get it right, and they didn't do it. We know what happened. We're gonna look at that. Then we're gonna get into the book of Isaiah. We're gonna do a lot of full chapter readings today for full understandings. Okay? So when we get into the book of Isaiah, we're gonna see the Lord talking to us about what he did for us. So we get these encouraging words that he's reminding us, first of all, who he is. And let's not get that twisted. He's letting us know who he is first. And he's telling us to his people. His people. Okay? So that's what we're going through today. So the class, one voice crying in the wilderness, we're going to hit on that. So at this time, we know everybody running around here scared. But we as his people, we're not given that spirit of fear. We're supposed to stay strong and be like, hey, you know, some of us are happy this is happening. You know, some of us get blessings out of this. This people making a straight come up out of this as well of a little something to help. Now you niggas been hollering about Trump all this time, but now you got a check coming out. Oh, now you good. Okay? So like my cousin in Mississippi say, them checks will be gone before they even get them. And I told mine too. So, I'm keeping it real.
I need to borrow $1.50.
$1.50. I got you. So we're gonna start out today in Genesis. We're reading Genesis chapter 5, 28 to 32, chapter 6 all, 7 all, 8 all, 9, 1 through 19. We got Isaiah 43 to the end, and we're gonna continue on in chapters 41 through 43, and 46 and 47. Jeremiah 10 all, 12 all. And we're gonna jump to the New Testament with a few, and we're gonna be up out of here.
Let me say this too, brother, before we get started, y'all. Currently at this time, y'all, the Passover is still on for April the 8th, Wednesday. That's about 10 days or so out, but we're still playing it by ear. We're in constant touch with the establishment, so Wednesday the 1st, we will know for certain. If not, y'all, we already have a prep and ready for Plan B. And that's Numbers the 9th chapter, y'all. We may have to move this into the second month due because of uncleanliness. You know, that we have to move this thing in our land of our captivity 30 days later. So we have that already prepped and prepared, but we ain't moving until we get the final word April 1st from the establishment. And we'll have Jacob put it out worldwide over the radio. You know, we'll send our emails out and texts out to the local family. and letting them know. So far, we have about 3 or 4 families coming in, and it appears to be all driving, no flying in, so it shouldn't be any problems with that, I hope. But if we have to or be forced to, well, I won't say forced, but conditions cause us to move it to numbers 9, then we'll let everybody know what the situation is. We'll keep you abreast of the situation, and y'all will get it on. But we have to understand you can't do 2 Passovers. You cannot do 14 days of unleavened bread. We're not telling you you have to move to the 2nd month. We're just saying as a group, as a whole, we do everything as one body. So we had to have committee meetings concerning this, y'all. It's just something that came up. We wasn't expecting it, like Bruh say, but we cannot, under no circumstances, allow the Passover to be missed. There ain't no law, nowhere to say you can miss it based off a situation. Because we kept all 40 of them in the wilderness, and we know what was happening now. So y'all just wanted to put that out, y'all. So, we know a lot of people wondering and questioning. We got ourselves in quarantine down here. We spaced accordingly. And y'all, we're going to have a good Shabbat lesson. So I just need to put that out there. Anybody that's traveling that, been corresponding with me, if you got any questions or concerns, just shoot me an email, and I'll explain everything to you if I have to personally.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get our reading started in the book of Genesis, in the 5th chapter, and we'll start reading in verse 28. And it reads, And Lamech lived 182 years, and begat a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Most High hath cursed. And Lamech lived after he begat Noah 595 years, and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old. And Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of Yah saw the daughters of men, that they were fair. And they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Most High said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years.
Okay, that's because of our trip that the Lord say his spirit would not always strive with man because he's flesh. He's reminding of that point, is that y'all keep tripping. So I can't keep dealing with y'all like I used to deal with y'all. And all these 960 years and things like that that we seeing that these people live, he cut it down because of transgressions. Because transgressions had grown so high, he said, I ain't fooling with y'all like that no more. And I'm taking away y'all long lives. So now it's cut down to 120 years as the most that he's given us that we can live on this earth at this time. Okay, after the flood. He said, before then, we seen how old Lamech was when he had Noah. Right? But right at this time, he's like, I'm done with that. Y'all, them hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years I was letting y'all live. And I was listening to this yesterday, and I was like, boy, just think if I had 200 years. You see what I'm saying? 200 years. And they live in 6, 7, 8, 9 plus. And we look at our little time talking about it, we know it's running out. We know ours is running out. Right. We ain't sitting up here like, I got 700 more years. You know what I'm saying? So we running around now in our little measly lives trying to get these little things together that we all have to get together before our time run out. We all have dreams. We all have desires of our heart.
Yes, sir.
But he also say, we're going to read where he say, this life is going to pass away and will not be remembered no more. So what does that tell us? How much are we really doing? What is it really so important in here that we trying to get done in this life? And it ain't even going to be remembered no more. Okay? So as you get your priorities in order. I mean, stop working for this life and start working for the one to come. Then you got all the time you need.
That's right.
All the time you need. Read on.
Verse 4.
Where's the 5?
You said
We're in 6, verse 4.
We're in the book of Genesis, chapter 6 and verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of Yah came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. And Yah saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth.
Do we see today our wickedness of men, how great it is today in the earth? So, there's nothing new under the sun. And we gonna see that the Lord said that the wickedness that he destroyed the world for, we more wicked than now. So he destroyed the world because of wickedness, but we are more wicked than that now, in which he destroyed the world in the first place. Okay, so look at the time we living in. Look at the time that we are living in. Guard your grills. Stay in his word. That's what we're here for today. Read on.
Verse 5 from the top. And Yah saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually.
Only evil continually. When nobody trying to change their ways.
Right.
Everything they did and set forth their hand to do was evil. Do we see righteousness in the world today like that?
No.
No. We don't see no righteousness going forth. All we see is evil continually. And we know where it comes from. So stay away from evil. Read on.
Verse 6. And it repented the Most High that he had made man of the earth, and it grieved him at his heart.
Now think about that. Think about that. He was upset and repented the fact that he even created us. Think about that. And then think about yourself. Compare that. Compare the fact that he said it repented me that I even created your tail. So we got to be striving to get back in his good graces, right? We have to be, no Lord, not me. I ain't that evil person. I don't want you to repent to say that you created me. Nah, I want you to be proud of me. I want you to say, that's my son there. That's my daughter there who's worshiping me and following me. That's what you need to be doing. That's how you need to be living your life, because that's your life. When we was on the phone waiting there, Tobias, I see you out there, bro. He gave a script, I can't remember now, but I told him to remember it before I knew he wasn't going to be here. But he said, let every man work out his own salvation. Okay, so that's where we at today. What you going to do? We in them times right now that where we seeing that we ain't never lived before. We ain't never had the threat of not being able to have a Passover together.
No.
Scared to get in here today. You understand what I'm saying? We living in times that are not been like before. Martial law coming in, the National Guard coming in, all that type of stuff. We ain't used to seeing times like that, but you better get ready. You better get ready. Okay? So you either gonna get down or you gonna lay down. Read on.
Verse 7. And the Most High said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping thing, and the fowls of the air. For it repenteth me that I have made them. He
got rid of everything. That's how bad we was. See that? We was that bad. It's like a dirty garment. When you put it in the washing machine and come out clean again, that's what he did with the earth. That's how bad we was. I'm gonna start this all over again. Okay, read on.
Verse 8. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Most High.
See, that's who you gotta be. You gotta be a Noah. You gotta be found of grace in his eyes. At these times of everything that's going on, you best believe he's looking at you, seeing how you gonna hold up. Are my children gonna call on my name at this time, or they gonna fall by the wayside? Everybody walking around here in masks and gloves and stuff like that. And then you walk around like, give me my change. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looking at you like you crazy. No, I believe. I ain't scared. Okay? So who they supposed to be looking to? Why that nigga ain't scared? Because I serve a God that don't make me scared. That's why I ain't scared. Okay? So if you scared, you need to get yourself together and not be scared. And we'll show you the way. What you got?
That's our job really right now, is to be that light to people.
That's all.
Keep you moving with ease, with faith.
Right.
They're gonna get stripped from watching you.
Right. I mean, like I say, the blessings that some of us have gotten out of this, you know, to think about, now we on lockdown, I work from home. All I gotta do is go back to my job for gas and supplies. And they say, come here and get that and get your tail back up out of here. I work every day is like a Saturday to me at work, because I leave straight from my crib, go run, do my work, and turn right back around, go back home.
And y'all, and not to cut you off, they let you know where we are in the time period. See the liberty he still got. This is just at worst the beginning of sorrow.
Right.
So, you know, no need to get up and on. This is just what the Most High do. He let us know, hit us right in the mouth so it wakes you up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he give you time, you know, to get your mind straight.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, that's it. Keep reading.
Verse 9. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man and perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with Yah. And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before Yah, and the earth was filled with violence. And Yah looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And Yah said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth.
Now think about you in Noah's shoes, sandals, and you standing there and the Lord talking to you. The end of all flesh has come before me. How do you think he felt? Said he was found righteous in his generations, that he was perfect. The Lord looked on him, had favor and mercy on him, didn't he?
Right.
Think about you being that man. The Lord saying, I'm killing everybody else. And you standing there before him like, what made me so special? Well, he was doing what he was supposed to be doing that made him the most specialist man on the planet. The last one left. What you got?
So it seems like the Most High, before he chose Israel, he gave all the nations on earth the chance to serve him.
All of them. They should be serving them right now. They should be serving them. Everybody should be doing the same thing today. Like the world is shut down, it's supposed to be shut down every Sabbath. For everybody. You go to another country, their religion is the law of the land, where they say, 5 times a day, if you're working on a factory somewhere where Muslims at, that factory plant shuts down 5 times a day because everybody praying. This ain't no national day of prayer, one day of prayer that they have in this country. Out of 365 days, y'all only recognize him once as a national day of prayer. This land, y'all need to be praying every day. Yes. All day. Okay? But because of what these people are doing, we caught up in it. We just here. What you got, sis?
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm home care, so I'm a registered nurse. And so my staff, when I go in and I walk through my departments and I'm doing my regular rounds, they're wondering, why are you so peaceful? Why are you so calm?
See?
And I said, I serve the Most
That's right.
High.
That's right.
Blood by His stripes, I am healed and I am protected.
Right.
I said, that's what you need to get. Get that deep down into your spirit.
Exactly.
And so this week, on Wednesday, I had a hard time at work because I felt like just trying to keep everyone grounded because they're not shutting us down. So we come in and we do what we gotta do.
Right.
You know, and you just have to know and believe that He's got you.
That's right.
So you know who
And
you
so
are?
I had to go into my office and close my door and face to the east and lift my hands and ask for continued strength to lead and guide my team because if I fall apart,
Right. They through.
everything, I mean, it's ever changing
Right.
every day.
Right.
So, what we did 2 weeks ago now has totally changed.
Exactly.
Compared to what we're doing today. So
Exactly.
if I'm gonna worry, I shouldn't worry back then because
Right.
I'm exposed.
Right.
You know, and so I had to on Wednesday. I had to literally just go into my office and close the door.
Right.
And lift my hands and turn to the
That's
east.
right. That's right.
I need your continued strength. I need you.
Yes. That's
And
right.
it's funny because if I come in blue, which I'm not going to come in blue,
Right.
but if I come in blue, this house is going to come in blue.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I have to support them. And when they see me flow through, they're like,
Right.
she's not even.
Right.
She's
They
just like
say,
every day.
I need some of that. Right.
Exactly.
Right. So you the title
But
of the
being
class.
here, I have to tell you, being here, and I'm up like clockwork on Sunday morning to hear Radio Live, being here and hearing everything that I hear, Brother Daniel, Brother Jacob, Brother Levi. I mean, just being here has helped me. Because had I not got into this truth and come here and joined it, and this family has been so welcoming to me, I don't know where my mind would be.
Well, see
But
what.
I have to tell you, keep
Right.
doing what you're doing because it's working. I am a walking living testimony.
That's it.
Being here and being present.
That's right.
I drive a distance to get here.
Yeah, you do.
But I'm going to drive it every single
right.
day to be here. And
right.
when I can, I will tune in. But I'm just saying, continue to do what you do.
Right. Because
And
you are
continue to keep us lifted because it's what you're doing, like I said, has truly helped me.
Right.
And I want to thank all of you.
We praise the Most High. Thank Him.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
What I was trying to tell you is that you are the title of the class. You are that one voice that's crying in the wilderness. You are that example. And like you said, I'm not gonna fall off. I'm gonna stay strong. I ain't got nothing to be worried about. I ain't scared. And that's exactly why we doing what we doing. And that's what this is about being reminded of who He is, because He gonna remind us. And knowing that He talking to you. He talking to you. So He telling you, don't trip off this.
Right.
Okay?
Right, you know, and y'all, let us understand, His order was, I send you out sheep among wolves. Wolves will plot anything against you.
Sure will.
So even if this virus is plotted, He still sent us out to this to show His light. You know, so we have to understand, you know, there's going to be a lot of saints getting what we call wore out, the flesh only, not the soul or the spirit. You know, like Sister saying, if her flesh was to go, the soul is already prepped for what's coming behind it, y'all. So we rejoice during these days. Because it's letting us know prophecy is being fulfilled. And that's the only thing that keeps you moving. You know what I've been talking about. I'm actually witnessing some things in my time. And it ain't phasing me because I had all of the examples of Abraham.
That's right.
And Daniel and them, and Joseph locked up, and Moses in the situation he was in that he ain't never left them, y'all. So that's where it got to be. You must be a believer.
Right.
What did you say about Joseph and Daniel and them? And I was telling somebody this, because they was asking me the same thing. Why you ain't scared? Because I do Postmakers. I do good money. You know what I'm saying? I said, the people of the Most High, we prosper even during captivity. Even though I've been prospering. I'm making money.
Right. We ain't waiting on to come up of this check. We already came up.
Right.
We done already came up. This is just a blessing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing. Let's read on. We're going to pick up the pace a little bit.
Reading in the book of Genesis, chapter 6, and at verse 14. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Six rooms shall thou make in the ark.
Where you seeing 6 at?
Well, I got a 6 on this.
Okay.
6 cubits.
Rooms shall thou make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark,
Where you at, verse 14?
15.
Yeah.
And this is the fashion, you there?
Yeah. I was looking at 14.
Yeah, mine got a little 6 right there by the room. Yeah, I'm like 6 rooms.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's just rooms. Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 15. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above. And the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof. With lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. And behold, I, even I, do bring a flood of waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, wherein is the breath of life, from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee will I establish my covenant.
So y'all want to feel like he's standing there talking to you today. Nigga, don't worry about this. My covenant is with you. My covenant that I made with your forefathers still stand with you. It stand with you. That means you stay with it. Don't walk away from his covenant. Don't walk away from the things that he gave you to do. Keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. Just keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's not like we ain't been doing enough and then we got to ramp it up. No, you're supposed to be consistent all the way.
That's right.
In season and out of season with this thing. We just in an out season right now, but we still in season.
Right.
We still standing on what we believe. Ain't nobody said nothing different.
Right.
He ain't said at this time this gonna happen and y'all gonna have to do this. No, we looking at what we done been through to know where we going. And there ain't nothing that we change. Lord, I gotta get to a next level in serving you to get through this. No, nigga, do what you been doing. Do what you been doing.
Right. Keep the command.
That's right. He ain't gave us no other thing else.
That's right.
And he said, I don't change. I'm the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So tomorrow he gonna be the same. So what I'm supposed to be doing tomorrow if he let me see it? The same thing.
That's right.
Let's roll.
Keep pushing.
That's right.
This too, brother. And also, that's good you put the measurement up there because it says 300 cubics. So a cubit is about 18 inches, or from the tip of your finger down to your elbow. So you do 300 times 18, and then divide that by 12. So you got 450 feet. So the ark is a football field and a half. So y'all know football field 100 yards or whatever it is. You know, but the ark was like 300 yards or something like that. 3 football fields, basically. Yeah, so yeah, and it's a duplicate of it in Kentucky in there. But to be that large, it kept building it. So the whole time that he gave them to repent, they could look at he was building
progress.
the escape. The escape plan for you. So there was no reason to fall off because you're witnessing him build this every year of those 120 years. So you can never say, because it's without excuse for them too. Well, Lord, I didn't know you was finna destroy the world. You didn't see that ocean line being built.
On dry ground. On dry ground.
Well, that should have told you something. You know, and he continually building.
Right. And it's getting bigger.
How he ain't running out of supplies.
Right.
Some should have told you we may need to pay attention to this.
Right.
But they paid attention when
The rain
when the rain started. That's when they woke up. So y'all, in like manner, we can't pay attention or just want to pay attention because this virus has started. Because if it passes, you're going to forget about it and go back to your ways. It's for you to look every day that this thing is going on because it's training. Because if they are planning something, this is the planning stage for it on how they're going to do it.
Right.
The only difference going to be the next phase is to get rid of the money.
That's right.
They're trying that still. They don't want you paying in cash now. Please use
Right.
your card. You know?
Digital thing.
Yeah.
China was always going to do it. They already had it doing it anyway, but now it's
You
expedited.
know, on the news today, they say all the top generals and military brass is hiding underground right now.
Yeah.
Really?
Preserving them. Preserving them.
All over the world.
Well,
Right.
no, it's still 10 nations with nuclear bombs. You can't forget about that now.
That's right.
We definitely don't need no rogue to run up in nowhere and launch nothing off, because purple rain, you know, if they block the sun out, it's gonna get rough. That's why he said, pray your flight be not in the winter. See, it's summer coming up, y'all, so some of us can live outside for a while.
Or with no electricity.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you got a roof over your head. Read on.
Question.
Go ahead.
This past weekend, I had a lot of people from the Christian church that were calling me saying, what's the word? We're looking for prophets to tell us what to do next.
What?
And you just, Brother Daniel. And so they were like, what can we talk? And I was like, but just do what you know to do. You know, to continue in the faith. You know, to believe that they were looking for different prophets.
But see, that's their problem. See, that when you don't have the whole truth, you know, just like they calling you now, everybody's phone ringing off the hook.
See?
Everybody's phone ringing off the hook. I ain't gonna tell y'all this story. I got into it with this Jehovah's Witness at the job so bad. I had to go back and apologize to him.
That's gonna come out here.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Because they looking for a prophet.
Right.
Right.
They gonna show them
They
money.
waiting on the Savior.
And it's been 66 books of prophecy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right. They be looking for a prophet.
But y'all, what they really
You
looking
should be
for,
waiting on the prophecy.
they're looking for,
Not looking for a
they're
prophet.
looking for the rapture that's late.
I'm supposed to be out here already.
Been gone.
What's going on?
Wait a minute.
I need to know what to do.
I should have been gone first.
You ain't
got
been
out of
talking.
China, dude.
I've been paying my tithes all this time.
Did y'all hear about the Copeland, Pastor Copeland?
Oh, yeah.
Pay tithes, they didn't.
You
You told me to stop, better pay your tax.
You like, that's why the train late, y'all.
Like he ain't got enough money. Right, like he ain't got enough money. He's still begging. Read on.
Verse 18, but with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee, and of every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark, to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female, of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every creeping thing of the earth after his kind. 2 of every sort shall come unto thee, to keep them alive. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee, and for them. Thus did Noah, according to all that Yah commanded him, so did he.
So that's what you got to remember, and that's what you better be doing. All that the Most High commands you to do. And if you sitting there thinking, waiting on the Lord to talk to you, then the problem is with you. Okay, so then if you ain't hearing from the Lord, you need to look at yourself and get yourself together. Because Lord, I need to hear from you. You need to be telling him, whatever it is I need you to do, make it known to me.
Yeah.
Make it known to me. If I'm just sitting up here and going through the motions and ain't nothing popping, you need to take a long, hard look in that mirror at yourself. To know that if he ain't showing up in your life like, nigga, here I'm is, you need to be wondering where you at. Well, where you at is he's there, you just ain't seeing him. Because you got to get yourself right. You got to get yourself right for him to be dealing with you. And you know you want him to deal with you in the right way because you need his mercy. You want his mercy and his grace, especially at these times. And I'm sitting there talking about my cup running over at these times. Blessing. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, Lord, you done blessed me before I even left the house. Before I even walked out the door today to go to work, you done hit me up already. Boom, bam, bam.
Called waking up.
That's right.
And let me say this too, bro. Y'all, something very important in Genesis 4:19. And just one verse, just want somebody to read that really quickly, because what he just read in this 6:21 is something very important, because that was going on then, and this is the end of the world. So what do you see in 4:19 of Genesis? This is Lamech. This is the line of Cain's father. I mean, great-grandson, I should say. What does it say in that verse 19?
And Lamech took unto him 2 wives.
Right.
The name of the one was Adua, and the name of the other was Zillah.
Now, you have to understand, this is Cain's line. So, Cain's line. Understand this, you ain't gonna see this in Noah. Why I want y'all to focus on verse 21 of 6th chapter, is that this one man with one woman, and his sons each had one woman, and they repopulated the earth. So it's never been a commandment that you need to have every man more than one. All it takes is one.
He gave Adam one.
That's what we're talking about for 900 years. So I want y'all to understand, but everybody that's on planet Earth today came from 8 people. Not if each man had 7, 21 women. It didn't say that. No, there would have been another step in. 28 women. It wasn't 28 women on the ark. It was 4. And they repopulated planet Earth, so the Most High don't need your hip swiveling to get the planet going.
To help him out.
Yeah.
But see, you see it, but what he said though, you see how people use that to say that I can have more because we repopulate Israel. That's how they get that off on these little gals out here saying our people are being persecuted, so we need to be populating and making more of us. Nah, your more of us only ends when you end. You got responsibility of that more of us, but you say, "Ooh, I'm done." Gone with that baby. Go on and take that seed I made and you raise it.
It ain't taken care of.
Right, you raise it. I did my part.
Right.
I did my part. I made them. Now it's on you to take care of and raise them. No.
Raise them up in the way he should go.
That's right.
You're supposed to be a light to the Gentiles.
That's right.
You leave that burden on the woman, and you're supposed to show her that.
Right. Go ahead.
No, we ain't getting on that tangent. I just want to move it to that point so you can see something. It don't take what a carnal mind gonna do. This gonna be supernatural. You know, because you got to, if you don't believe the virgin birth, then how you gonna believe 8 people repopulated all the planet Earth that everybody that's dwelling now came from?
That's right.
How you gonna believe that?
We're gonna read where the Messiah, they said about the Messiah. How is his generation counted?
How could
where's his, when he reproduced that, how you count his generation? He had them children.
How was 2 enough to
start out with over? That's right. That's right.
Commanded.
Adam and Eve. When Adam and Eve.
He said replenish the whole planet.
He said
And he only needs 2.
That's right.
One of each.
Yeah, that's right.
And y'all understand what bro is saying. It's Jeremiah 4:23, 2 Peter 3:8. There was a world before Adam and Eve, because they were told to replenish. 2 of them. Y'all get it started again.
That's what's going to happen now. You know, when the Messiah comes, he's going to wipe out too many people. We're going to have only the meat going to have the earth. So it's just history repeating itself.
There's going to be another replenishing coming. There's another replenishing of the people coming. All right, read on.
Going into chapter 7. You want something, Dan?
Oh, that's me? You had 2 already?
Yeah, a little bit in 5 and 6.
Genesis chapter 7, verse 1. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take thee by the 7s, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female.
So you see here by how he emphasized that, the male and his female. So the clean beast, it was 7 males, not 1 male and 7 female animals with him. It was the male and his female. We know like ducks mate for life. that one pair of ducks, they will stay together till one of them die. And they won't get another duck unless the other one died. Okay? You don't have one male duck with a bunch of ducks, females with him. So just like he said, the male, a clean beast, a male giraffe, and his female, there were 7 males and 7 females.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
How did Noah know what was clean and unclean? Did he have a rule book?
Same law.
Same law. What you can eat, what you can eat, what you can't eat. That's how they broke it down into clean and unclean. That's if you can eat it, it's clean. If it's unclean, that you can't eat it. So it tells you the clean beast and the unclean beast.
Well,
See, it's the Melchizedek order. That's how I was going to get it. The Melchizedek order.
right, this how
So he's under that priesthood. Same laws, just different priesthood. You're thinking about Aaron, but same laws. That's how Abraham knew what to eat, what was clean and unclean. So the law been in the earth since the beginning. The law didn't start at Mount Sinai.
Right, those were new laws.
So Noah had a rule book already.
Already had the rule book. He gathered it all from Adam.
Right, but he got it from the Spirit. It wasn't written, but the Spirit. Melchizedek transmitted by the Spirit.
The point is, the Lord was dealing with him.
Yeah.
So he told them what he did. So I didn't mean to cut you off, Theo, but remember right here in this verse 22 of chapter 6? Thus did Noah according to all that God commanded him. So did he. So he told them everything. He wasn't going to leave him with nothing missing for this new mission. I'm not going to tell him this last thing and I'm going to see if he'll figure it out on his own. No, nigga, I got a job for you to do. And this is your instructions on how to do it. And Noah got the hammering. He got the hammering. He didn't ask no questions. Lord told him do it, nigga, I got you. I'm doing it. Read on.
Verse 3. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth, for yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according to all that the Lord commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. Keep going. And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him into the ark because of the waters of the flood.
Verse 8.
Verse 8. Of clean beasts and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the foundations of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open.
Now in the book of Jasher, when you read this story that goes into more detail, there were, of course, leftover animals and leftover people. The righteous people that were left, that Noah wasn't the only man on the planet, and his 3 sons and their 3 wives and his wife that believed in the Lord. There were other righteous people that still believed in the Lord, so the Lord put them to sleep.
Yes, sir.
When the rains came, he put them to sleep so they wouldn't have to go through that. They wouldn't have to drown and die. He just put them to sleep, okay? And also, because of the people that was left, when they realized that Noah was telling the truth and that rain came, what do you think they did? Ran to the ark. Well, the Lord had animals outside guarding the ark that they couldn't get there now. It's too late.
Right.
You gonna fight your way past a lion? Okay? That's standing there guarding the door. You got to get through him to get in? No. The Lord had animals out there, so knowing them didn't even have to trip off of that. Banging on the door, banging on the door. Let us in, let us in. No, it was rawr. Get your ass away from it. Okay?
And them was the ones that couldn't get on the ark because they disobeyed Noah. They didn't come and bow to him. So they were still wild, and so just left for the leftovers.
Right.
Perfect form. You don't want to listen, got some wild beasts for you.
That's right.
Verse 12. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And the selfsame day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth and the sons of Noah and Noah's wife and the 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark. You want to keep going?
Yeah, we go to 8.
Oh, going to 8. Okay. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after its kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him. And the Lord shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth. And the waters increased and bare up the ark. And it was lifted up above the earth. And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth. And the ark went up upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth. And all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl, and of cattle, and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils were the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land, died. And every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground.
I got a question.
Both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. Go ahead.
And so, did the Most High drown fish, or did the fish fly?
You've been listening to the Muslims again, ain't you? Y'all check it out. The book of Jasher, chapter 6. The entire chapter, but I'm just going to pick out a few verses that I got highlighted in here.
This the answer to that question?
Yeah, this is the answer to the question online about exactly where.
This is Maggie asks, never heard of the sleeping part. Where? So she wants to know
Where to put them to sleep.
Okay, go ahead and get that. Yeah, we get that in Euclid also. It's in the book of Adam and Eve.
You grab that part. Now I'll read this witness, and then when he find that other one, real quick, we'll hit both of those witnesses. So I'll do the animal part real quick. I'm gonna start in verse 22. It says, "And Noah and..." Hold on, let me back it up. I'm gonna go down to 11. Wait, where did I see it? How many people? Look, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna start at verse 12. "And still the sons of men would not return from their evil ways, and they increased the anger of the Lord at that time, and did not even direct their hearts to all this. And at the end of 7 days, and in the 600th year of the life of Noah, the waters of the flood were upon the earth." So we saw that already, that he said in 7 days it's going to start raining.
Hey, bro, is this about the fish you talking about?
No.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know I had up there.
You got my permission to slap him upside the head.
Okay, yeah.
Verse 14. "And all the fountains of the deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And Noah and his household." I got the. And all the fountains of the deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And Noah and his household and all the living creatures that were with him came into the ark on account of the waters of the flood, and the Lord shut him in. And all the sons of men that were left upon the earth, became exhausted through evil on account of the rain. For the waters were coming more violently upon the earth, and the animals and the beasts were still surrounding the ark. And the sons of men assembled themselves together, about 700,000 men and women, and they came unto Noah to the ark. And they called to Noah, saying, Open for us that we may come to thee in the ark. And wherefore shall we die? And Noah said with a loud voice, answering them from the ark, saying, Have you not all rebelled against the Lord, and said that he does not exist? And therefore the Lord brought upon you this evil, to destroy and cut you off from the face of the earth. Is not this thing that I spoke to you of 120 years back? And you would not hearken to the voice of the Lord. And now do you desire to live upon the earth? And they said to Noah, We are ready to return to the Lord. Too late. Only open for us that we may live and not die. And Noah answering them, saying, Behold now that you see the trouble of your souls, ye wish to return to the Lord. Why did you not return during these 120 years, when the Lord granted you as the determined period? But now you come and tell me this on account of the troubles of your souls. Now also the Lord would not listen to you, neither will he give ear to you on this day, so that you will not now succeed in your wishes. 2 more verses. And the Lord and the sons of men approached in order to break into the ark, to come in on account of the rain, for they could not bear the rain upon them. And the Lord say it again. And the Lord sent all the beasts, the animals that stood around the ark, and the beasts overpowered them and drove them from that place. And every man went his way, and they again scattered themselves upon the face of the ark. So they was like, well, this ain't gonna work. Face of the earth. You got yours? All right. I'm gonna pick up for his reading while he's looking for that second witness.
Just one verse. And then Joshua got it. Let me read that verse 24.
Okay.
And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. So go ahead, Joshua. That's on you now.
What are you reading from?
Chapter 8. You're gonna read the whole chapter 8, and then you're gonna read chapter 9, 1 through 19. See that, Theo? I can't get your tail up here at the table with me. You should be ashamed of yourself, Why?
You got to ask chicken questions.
And Elohim remembered Noah and every living thing.
8 verse 1.
Oh yeah. Genesis chapter 8 verse 1.
Right.
Is everybody there? And the Elohim remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And the Elohim made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. Mountains of the deep and the windows of the heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained, and the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated.
Okay, boy, read.
And the ark rested in the 7th month, upon the 17th day of the month, upon the mounts of Ararat. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days, Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent forth a raven, which went to and fro, until the waters were dried up from off the earth. And he sent forth a dove unto him, to see if the waters she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her, and pulled her back unto him into the ark. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. The dove came to him in the evening, and lo, her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet other 7 days, sent forth the dove, which returned not again until him any more. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the second month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dry. And the Elohim spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of fowl and cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful, and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth, after their kinds, went forth out of the ark. And Noah builded an altar unto the Lord. But the correct is built.
Right. We know that now.
And took of every clean beast, and every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground for any more for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease.
So right there, the Lord is saying that I ain't gonna do this again. You know, Lord knows I'm not trying to be in his mind, in his ways, but to think, it's like he's looking at this. He say, "Nah, I done did this." He said, he seen what he did, where it's destroying the entire world. He say, I ain't gonna do that again. You know, because he wiped out everybody and every blade of grass and every single thing because of man. He said, I ain't gonna do it again because of man. I'm not gonna destroy my creation for them niggas again. You see what I'm saying? So he looked at that, said, I ain't gonna do that again. You know, just because he can do it just like that. I'll wipe it away again. Yeah. I'll find me another Noah. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, I ain't gonna do that again. They gonna make it their own way this time. For them to make it, they gonna have to make it to me on their own. I ain't gonna destroy everybody for this.
And it's like Noah, we get that kind of treatment. He was quarantined for 40 days, 40 nights, and 10 months after that.
Right. Exactly. And had to start it all over. You want to snap them upside here again for me? Read on.
And the Elohim blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth.
So this is the second replenishing. The second time had to be done on what I'm trying to say. Okay, y'all see that, all right? Read on.
So Adam and Eve the first.
Right. Then Noah and his sons, yes.
And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon the fish, all the fishes, it's fish, of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb I have given you all things. The flesh of the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require. At the hand of every beast I will require it. And at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother, will I require the life of man. Whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God made he man. And you, be ye fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth.
Read a little bit louder, Joshua.
And multiply therein. And the Lord spake unto Noah, and to his sons with him, saying, And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood. Neither shall there be any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And I shall establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut up by any more by the waters of a flood. Neither shall there be any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And the Elohim said, This is the token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a token of covenant between me and the earth.
Okay, right there. Y'all know that's the rainbow. Now, just because these alphabet people took that and used that as their symbol, that still don't mean nothing. It's what it is. It's what it is. Okay, we should all be wearing shirts that say it's his rainbow. It ain't yours. Okay, we shouldn't be ashamed to show that we don't shun the rainbow because of what they say it means.
Right.
We supposed to, that's his rainbow.
They defile.
Right. So you see how they took something that's righteous that the Lord said that's his bow that sits over his throne, that he reminds us of every time it rains. We look up and we supposed to say, that's the promise that he made us, that he won't destroy the earth again by water no more. That's what we're supposed to be remembering every single time we see one, even if you got your water hose on and the light hit it right, and you see that rainbow in that water hose. You're supposed to be reminded of that. Okay? So just like, it's just like Satan creating Christian sanity. They talk about the Lord, talk about his son, talk about the Holy Spirit, believe in these scriptures, but they believe them the way he taught them. So we see people acknowledging Christ all the time, but with a bad doctrine. That's why he say, I never knew you. Lord, we done did all these things, Matthew 7 and 23 to 26. But it's Matthew 7 down in there, but when he said that I never knew you, right? So why would these people that they said that, Lord, we did all these things in your name, and he said, I never knew you? That's because whose doctrine are they following? If they was following his, he'd be like, come on in. So that's Satan's doctrine who created that they're following. Okay?
Anything that Satan comes up with, you have to line it up with truth. That's why he lines it up with the word. Because you can't deceive people unless you line it up with the truth. That's why the Bible.
That's why they say they can call on his name and still be wrong. Still be wrong.
He has to line it up. And so we have holy days, he has to have holidays.
Right.
He has to line it up with it until it seems like it's right. But the end of it is death.
Exactly. Go ahead.
Just listening to this, hearing how Noah did it for 20 years and tried to get people to repent, and they still did.
120.
I'm sorry, 120 years. I misspoke. Now, with this whole Corona thing going on, they have told you the best thing to do is to eat healthy, stay hydrated, take the vitamin C. Yet everybody tell me, I go in the store, oh, it's nothing on the shelves. Everything on the shelf that'll save you was left there.
Right.
The super greens, the radishes, the kale, the vitamin C in the water was still there. But I couldn't find a thing of top ramen or Doritos.
Right.
So if you get sick, you still got a cup, you got a household full of nothing that'll save you.
That's right.
Exactly.
But I went right in, got everything I needed, and went right out.
Right.
It ain't that time yet, bro. It's a different, it may be the beginning of some things. Get your prep, get your mind on point. That if this was to hit and they shut it down like this, just what if they say, well, the money's contaminated. We've traced it back to that. You can't transfer money like that no more. What you gonna do?
That's what they don't say.
What you got in the bank, we'll give it to you on a card. Get down here now. Well, in a period of time, once we train ourselves how to use the card, then they'll say, well, they cracking the card now. It's some Negroes on Cold Brilliant that found out. So now we want to put it on your hand so it die with you. That's where the cutoff point is at. But that's years away. That ain't now. No need to be scaring people or having people trembling. Look, death is at the door. Let's not be fooled. This thing is killing people.
Y'all see what's going on with toilet paper.
It's killing people at a high rate. It's killing people. So, but it's not the end. It's not what was written, because we're still either we done missed 3 years of the Antichrist, or this is just the beginning of sorrow. Because the Antichrist has to straighten all of this out first. That's who everybody gonna believe. It's got to be God. He changed everything. He fixed everything. He gonna let y'all ride for 3.5 years, and then he gonna turn to who he is. The son of the devil. And then he gonna say, tired of y'all living off of me. It's time for y'all to pledge allegiance. That's when the killing starts. That's when, after that war, after all men are killed, and because there's more women on earth after that war. This ain't no war yet. What war you been killed by a sword for that you tricking now? Women. Read some more.
Hey, I'll never forget, we was talking about these times before. Brother Elisha, we was talking about the mark of the beast. Elisha said there'd be a brother walking around here with a bag full of hands. This one don't work. Try this. This one don't work. You put this one up against the ATM. This don't work either. There we go. This one was still warm. That's right. All right, we continue going on.
Genesis chapter 9, verse 14. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you.
Me and who?
Me and you.
Me and who?
Me and you. And every living thing, every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh.
So that covenant that he made that to the grass. He made it to a dog. He made it to a squirrel.
Yes, sir.
He made that covenant. He said, I ain't gonna do this no more. I'm not going to do this again like I did. Okay? Read on.
And the bow shall be in the cloud. And I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between the token of the covenant, which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth.
And y'all see that, not cut you off, Joshua, Ezekiel 1:28 and Revelation 4:3, you'll see around the throne, that's the rainbow that covers the ark. So like I say, our adversaries like to take it and stick it in their back pocket, you know, with a thong on to make you scared of a rainbow. You know, they don't want you to think, you know, that if you got it on, you're scared. It's just like if you at the store on December the 25th, you know, do they have you scared, so scared that somebody may think you Christmas shopping? Right. That you won't go to the store that day. Then Satan is taking control of a day of the Lord in your mind. Right. Every day is the Lord. Satan just choosing December the 25th to run his program. That don't mean you can't go to the store. The only reason you be worried about somebody wondering what you buying if you got a bunch of bowls and wrapping paper in your basket. Right. Then it's a problem. But if you got what you normally do, some drawers, some socks, some deodorant. Oh, you know, bro, you Christmas shopping. No, I'm getting the funks off.
On this day.
On this day.
Go ahead.
Revelation 4:3. And all right, Sirach 43, I think mentioned it as well, of the rainbow around the throne of the Most High. You know, and that's what he'll show no matter what. Now, they just had in the paper the other day, a rainbow showed up, but they switched it and say, we see the Virgin Mary. It was in the Daily Mail yesterday, so, I mean, you know, if you look at the shape of it, but this, you can just make that be whatever you wanted it to be. But ain't no scripture say the Virgin Mary is coming back as a rainbow.
Boy, they had, I was watching on YouTube, they had I watch a lot of these paranormal things, and there was a office building, and something with the temperament of the glass. It was like 6 panes of big glass, and something with that chemical change in that glass had made an image of what they call the Virgin Mary, right? So it ended up becoming a shrine, and the people who owned the building ended up giving it to a charity, like a Catholic charity. Y'all can have the building now, because people was just lining up, coming from all over the place to see it. And they showed it all, right? And then they said, this little teenager came up there with a slingshot. Shot out the top 2 windows, shut down all of it. Now the building just sitting there. I'm like, good for him. Good for him. You know, he stopped all that mess. Shot the window out. Now what y'all gonna do? So that's the glass is broke, now there go your faith. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're gonna turn the tide into Isaiah. Read chapters 40. We stopped at 19. That's where I wanted.
I was at 18.
18, I'm sorry, I thought I did.
Genesis chapter 9, verse 18. And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan. These are the 3 sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread.
See that now? See the 2 witnesses from Daniel to what he just read? These sons of Noah, from them was the whole world overspread back. All right. Isaiah chapter 40, we reading 3 to the end. Then chapters 41 through 43 and 46 and 47. That's our Isaiah.
All right, everybody there?
And Sirach about the rainbow, that's 43, Sirach chapter 43, 11 and 12. Y'all add that too, concerning the rainbow. But I'm still searching out that other one there. I got it locked in my mind, I just can't Remember right now, y'all know how that sometimes creep in. Where we at right now?
If you creep in too much, it's all time.
What?
If you creep in too much, it's called all time.
Oh, you back.
And you come back.
We're going to be reading in the book of Isaiah, in the 40th chapter. We'll start our reading at verse 3. Let's get some understanding, family. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Most High. Make straight in the desert a highway for our Elohim. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low. And the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain. And the glory of the Most High shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. For the mouth of the Most High has spoken it. The voice said, cry. And he said, what shall I cry? All flesh is grass, and all the goodliness thereof is as the flower of the field. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, because the Spirit of the Most High bloweth upon it. Surely the people is grass, or like Joshua would say, our grass. Verse 8, the grass withereth, the flower fadeth, but the word of our Elohim shall stand forever. O Zion, that bringest good tidings, get thee up into the high mountain. O Jerusalem, that mountain, O Jerusalem, that bringest good tidings, lift up thy voice with strength. Lift it up, be not afraid. Say unto the cities of Judah, behold your Elohim. Behold, the Most High Yah will come with strong hand, and his arm shall rule for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arm, and carry them in his bosoms, and shall gently lead those that are with young. Who hath measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and meted out heaven with the span, and comprehended the dust of the earth with a measure, and weighed the mountains in scales, and the hills in a balance. Who hath directed the Spirit of the Most High, or being his counselor hath taught him? With whom took he counsel, and who instructed him, and taught him in the path of judgment, and taught him knowledge, and showed to him the way of understanding? Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing.
So the beginning of this verse 12, this is the Lord asking, who has done this? So put that into that perspective. He's asking that question, who done did this? Okay, read on.
Verse 16, and Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing, and vanity.
Y'all remember that now. Y'all remember what he just said about what these nations, how they mean to him. And you think about yourself being his chosen. Okay? Because he said it right there. All these nations right here, it ain't nothing. So we're not supposed to think of them as anything more than that.
No.
You greater than they. Okay? He said they ain't nothing to me. So remember who you are. Read on.
Verse 18, to whom then will ye liken Yah? Or what likeness will ye compare unto him? The workman melteth a graven image, and the goldsmith spreaded it over with gold. and casteth silver chains. He that is so impoverished that he hath no oblation chooseth a tree that will not rot. He seeketh unto him a cunning workman to prepare a graven image that shall not be moved. Have ye not known? Have ye not heard? Hath it not been told you from the beginning? Have ye not understanding from the foundations of the earth? It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth.
Circle of the earth.
That's right.
So there go your flat earth theory right out the window, right there. So y'all remember that verse if you need to, because when you hear somebody say that, you can show them right there and get you another witness to show. There ain't no such thing as no flat earth.
Look, he said a circle, he ain't said a
Right,
sphere.
exactly.
He didn't say a sphere.
Exactly.
He said a circle.
Exactly. So it's round.
So can a table have to be a circle?
Well,
A table?
It would be crazy for all the other ordinances out there to be round and earth to be flat. It don't make sense with consistency when the Most High is putting his work in that all the other planets gonna be round except this, and the moon casts a shadow between the sun and the earth. It casts a shadow on earth, so it's casting a round shadow. You know, and I understand what they're saying. The plane we're walking on appears to be flat, but it's so large and enormous you don't see the curve. You will never see the curve because as you keep going, the earth is so enormous. That's why I say you can measure it.
Right.
Put it down, I'll destroy
That's what I was waiting on.
But you're going like this, but you're doing it for hours before you make even a partial degree of a turn.
See, the thing about it is that you can't start at one spot and go all the way around the world and end up at that same spot again, because he said you can't measure out my creation.
That's right.
You ain't gonna you start that journey, you prepare to die, because you ain't gonna finish.
And if the earth
Okay?
is
Trying to put him into a measurement.
Right.
Okay?
That's what they're trying to do.
That's all.
Box him in. You can't box him in. And you know, if it was flat, then 12 noon would be 12 noon all over planet Earth.
Right.
Because it would be straight up. It would be that time for the entire planet Earth. With flat, you can't get 12 noon over here and you got a center point of your Earth is running this distance. Where's the edge of the Earth?
Why is it dark in China now and it's light here?
Right. If it was like that, it'd be noontime all over the Earth. So some things just don't make sense. They'd have been found the edge of the earth. That he'd have got the Nobel Peace Prize and been on people in them. You know.
Why ain't no record of
found the end of
nobody?
the earth.
Ain't no record of nobody falling off.
Oh,
Right.
right.
They can't even get to the deep
Right.
in the ocean.
Somebody, hey, the human nature would challenge that in itself.
It's one in itself, boy.
Walk down on Colt Brilliant and fall off. No,
You
can't.
know Cole Brilliant ain't falling off.
It's popping now.
That's right. Hand sanitizers and everything. Read on.
Verse 21 from the top. No, let's say verse 22. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them as a tent to, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. You see what I'm dealing with over there?
But y'all see what the example there is, like he said he stretches out the heavens like a curtain. That's you getting up in the morning and you see them commercials, them sunny mornings, and they just take the curtains and go, let the sun shine in. No, that's how he stretched out the heavens. How you close the shower curtain when you get in there and you go shoot and close the curtain. That's how he put the heavens out. He stretched the heavens out like they said, like a curtain.
Like the youngster correcting the orator.
right. Keep going.
It is the same. Verse 23. That bringeth the princes to nothing. He maketh the judges of the earth as vanity. Yea, they shall not be planted. Yea, they shall not be sown. Yea, their stock shall not take root in the earth. And he shall also blow upon them, and they shall wither. And the whirlwind shall take them away as stubble.
So anybody that you think about in this world having greatness and power, we know there's still kings and queens that still exist on this planet. You okay? But what did he say? Ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. So you don't look at them as nothing. They're just titles. They're just titles of men that mean absolutely nothing, but power comes with that. And with that power comes money, but it's still you and your little life looking at somebody greater than you that has rank in this planet. He just said, they ain't nothing. So don't you look at him like that. He ain't no respecter of persons, and neither should you be.
You get that virus on you, ain't no cure for it but death.
That's it.
That's a virus, respect of persons. Everywhere you read in the scripture, it's a swift death. Look, that death got Moses and Aaron. He said, and David spoke about it, spoke ill-advisedly at the waters of Meribah. It keep telling you what Moses and Aaron, breath was taken from them in the flesh, but their souls were saved. You have to understand. They repented because Moses showed up the Mount of Configuration, right? The Messiah in Matthew 17. So you got that situation, and so you understand that how he speaks in languages that you have to be a Bible studier and don't let outside come in and dictate to you the summary of the matter. If you do, you're going to lose it. That's what people are basing it on. They just throw a little bit of outside in there, and that changes your whole thought process. It's in like manner of what we experiencing today. Everybody got a video out there about this is the last day, and ain't nothing lining up with the prophecies of Daniel and Revelation. You cannot get rid of the 1290 days. It's impossible to move them to the side. The only way you can move them to the side is prove to us they already done happened.
Right. Just because
on the tail end.
And just because you got a little $1,200 check coming don't mean that these are 3.5 years of good time. Right. Let's see what Trump see. If you study and watching your enemy, you will see these things. I tell y'all all the time. I listen to these white folks every day about what they doing and what's going on. And I tell everybody, y'all need to change your dial to 97.1 and listen and see what's going on in the world. You hear that, and you put it on Ricky Smiley, they talking foolishness. You put it back on what's going on today. Now, what's going on today, if you are not studied up, you'll look at this like this and say, wait a minute, since he done been in office, now this is a time where you got black folks looking at him talking about voting for him. Okay, so now you got that they starting to break that Democratic Republic mold of saying, you know, blacks have been Democrats, that when we first was given the right to vote, we were Republicans. But then they came along and started promising us these things that has gotten us in the situation that we still in. We still looking at the wrong person for our salvation.
You can't be free to slave.
Exactly. You can't be looking at the government for your way out. This is your way out.
That's right.
This is where he say, come and buy with no money. Come and buy with no money and eat and be drink and fill up.
All right, boy. Watch yourself.
Go ahead.
Quarantine.
One thing I want to say, Donald Trump give a speech now, he don't have the presidential seal on the podium. He just got the word, the United States or the White House or something like that. And the flag ain't behind him no more.
Well, China blames the coronavirus on the United States.
Right.
CDC owned a patent to it.
Right.
But it started in China.
Yeah.
But now we the worst out of everybody.
Right. I got a video yesterday from this cat that said that there was a patent given on the coronavirus in 2000, if I'm not mistaken, 14? So the fact of it is, if people are talking about they hearing about this and all this is out new now, no, this ain't new then.
And I don't know how you missed it.
Right.
Because the Simpsons had it on in 1998. How you missed it?
Have to pull out one of those tapes.
Well, he watched The Simpsons every day. You know, they predicted on The Simpsons just like they predicted a couple other things. Donald Trump was going to win. So,
But even Kobe Bryant, they showed him hitting a helicopter crash.
So a lot of these things, y'all, is to take you off course.
Right.
We have to stay on the paved path.
Right.
Y'all, if you go off, you're going to get in trouble, y'all. You have to always say as yourself, is the Antichrist been here yet?
Right.
If the Antichrist ain't been here, or you pumping preterism and saying it happened in 70 AD. The only problem with that, I ain't seen 1,000 years of peace yet, have y'all?
I must have missed that one.
Not these
With this virus, they still killing where at? On the what? On the streets.
Yep. They just got face masks
It
on.
ain't nothing, it ain't changed nothing. It ain't changed no activity, so ain't no need you. They ain't scared of the National Guard.
Nope.
They saying he's short with the money. He got to pay tonight. Curfew or no.
Right.
Now, if the one that got killed had been obeying the curfew, what would he have been when the killers come looking for him?
Home and alive.
But because this don't mean nothing, because the spirit is out in the streets and telling them this ain't the one. Just like when Christ cast the demon out of that man, he said, are you here to torment us before the time? Okay.
Right.
Y'all still on game, huh, with y'all wicked. Go into them swine and going down and they drove them down in the sea. So demons know when the time is. So
Right.
no need in us jumping the gun, y'all. It's just beginning of things because you're starting to see a pattern. You're starting to see weather patterns. You're starting to look, your Redeemer draweth near. That's the only thing we need to be concerned with.
Check this out.
Our Redeemer draweth near.
If when the demons asked him, "Are you here to torment us before the time?" If he'd have said, "Yeah," they would have accused him of being wrong. You ain't fair.
Right.
You ain't playing fair. It ain't got time yet.
And all that,
You breaking the rules.
you ain't
Right.
decide. You breaking the rules.
Right.
No man knoweth the day nor hour. We cannot change that.
Because that time they was talking about then still ain't came yet.
Yeah.
So we have to understand that. When the demons told him before the time, that time still ain't came yet. So we have to understand that.
Prince just sold 3 million records.
And he did.
Been dead.
1999.
Been dead for a couple
Party
years.
like in 1999. 2000, oops. Oops what?
Party over.
Oops has been 20 years ago. Y'all see how fast time can fly? And when y'all study the book of Jasher, y'all see the first plague he hit Pharaoh with. He said, let him go. And this is a reminder. They said Moses and Aaron went away. They didn't come back to Pharaoh for 2 years. Right. 2 whole years went by, y'all. Just like 2 years to go by before we get hit with another one. He gives you time to get your house in order. You just can't get your house in order overnight like that and you've been practicing wilding.
Right.
He gonna give you some time, so it's no excuse at Judgment Day. You had from 2020 March to 2022 August, and you still ain't got it together.
Right.
Before I hit you with another.
But see, even that, like, if this is time when you're supposed to be at home, say the world's under quarantine, what are they doing? We're giving out free movies now for you to watch. Everything they're giving you free to keep your mind off the Lord when this is the most perfect time to have your mind focused on the Lord. They ain't saying we bringing out the 10 Commandments and we gonna play that again. No. You know, they ain't showing nothing about thus saith the Lord out here. You ain't seeing nobody standing up talking about, Lord, have mercy on us. They still out here crying for their little measly things.
Right.
Right. You know, these people they started to put up Christmas lights again to just make people feel good?
Yeah. Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? But ain't damn scripture coming off none of their lips about none of this. All they know is that it's just bad out here and they're scared it might be the end. Well, if you still thinking about the end, you still ain't getting your life right. I don't see a Bible in your hand.
Right.
You ain't asking no questions.
Hey, y'all, that's what we're talking about. Is the deal of, are they only waking up for a moment because they're scared? Yeah. Or you're hearing all of these things. Y'all, now we're not to never tempt the Lord. We just ain't gonna go in the emergency room. Who the hell in here got the coronavirus? Right. Give it to me.
Breathe
Give it to me. No, we ain't gonna tempt the laws under no circumstances. If you have to go there to see somebody, know that the power and the protection is behind you, but you have to be a believer. You have to believe it before they gonna believe it.
Right.
If they see you wavering and teetering, you gonna be hacking before you get out of there.
Right.
But like Sis said, she walked boldly in there because they told her, you still got to come to work. Your job is still required. Until they tell her, no, sis, don't come back here. Now, if she beat the door, then y'all gonna let me get in here so I can prove it. No, she ain't saying none of that. It's just the countenance displays righteousness. You don't have to tell a man anything. That's why he said a man is known by the countenance of what look on. Like you can tell if somebody had a bad drink. Man, what the hell is wrong? That's why when he tell you to fast, what he tell you? Anoint your head.
Right.
Don't he tell you to anoint your head?
Right.
Put Afro sheen in your hair, put some Vaseline on your lip. Don't be sitting like Tyrone Biggum, lips dried out and ain't took a bath and you want somebody to ask, what you doing, man? Just fasting for the Lord, dog. No, he don't want you in that spirit. Go to work just like, they'll never know you hungry because you're living off the spirit.
That's right.
And we got to understand the children see us in these things.
Yeah, they sure do.
They see
Yes,
us
sir.
and they mimic it.
They see more than
So
we
if
do.
you standing up, they gonna stand up.
Right.
Right.
Because we all know that we in the wilderness, we wouldn't be making it.
Right.
We'd be getting purged out.
Exactly.
Like the mother and her son.
So we got to raise them children up.
Right.
And keep them going strong.
Yes, sir.
Right, because what he said is that I always call us a first generation of this. My parents didn't teach me this. I gave it back to them the best I could at the time while they were still here.
They taught
see
you
what I'm saying?
some of it.
Right, they taught me enough to have me here today.
Like if you
understand
steal
that?
or kill somebody, don't you come back here. Don't call here. If you get caught stealing or you kill somebody, don't you dial this number. That's what you heard. What that mean?
You
Don't
gonna
get
do the
caught
time?
up. Right. But don't steal.
Don't call here, I ain't got a dime for you. So I already knew what that means. Don't go out here and do nothing wrong, because if I go to jail, I'm staying. Because I can't call.
And
That's how he
amazing.
instilled it in me. Nigga, don't call, I ain't got a dime for
Now
you.
you got parents saying my son didn't do that.
Right.
Knowing damn well he was bad.
He's a murderer, but he's still a good person.
Right.
Read on.
Where we at on that verse?
We're in the book of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse 25. And it reads, To whom then will ye liken me? Or shall I be equal? Saith the Holy One. Lift up your eyes on high, and behold, who hath created these things, that bringeth out their host by number. He calleth them all by names, by the generations of his might. For that he is strong in power, not one faileth.
So right here where he says, behold whom that created these things, you ain't giving this power to Mother Nature.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? She ain't created nothing.
Right.
She ain't even make her own butter sandwich.
Right. He said I did this. So you ain't giving that credit to her. I can't stand it, but that's the way the world in which we live. Even though it pierces my ears to hear it, these so-called Christians still holler Mother Nature.
Well, y'all, that's just to throw you off your game. But if you listen to them, they tell you when it's superseded Mother Nature. They call it an act of what?
God.
Okay, they didn't say act of Mother Nature, did they?
Nope.
And when a tornado get past their measuring, past Doppler radar or whatever they use to measure the speed, which is only about 300 miles an hour. Because if something moving that wide at 300 miles an hour, ain't nothing gonna be left at 300 miles an hour. Most High had one coming through about 700-800 miles an hour, as fast as the sound of speed. 600 miles an hour moving through and 5 miles wide. That's wind. 200 miles an hour, they tell you to head for the bunkers. That's when, like you watch the movie Twister, it says, when it gets to F5, they cut it off at 5. 4 technically, but they say F5 is the finger of who?
God.
See, so when you get it, the only problem is they want to put it on Mother Nature so that it don't appear to the world that God
Right.
is punishing
Right.
you
Right.
personally.
Right.
This is some woman that
Joplin,
mixed up
Missouri.
the wrong potion.
Joplin, Missouri.
Right. Yeah, she out there mixing up the wrong potion. That's Mother Nature tripping again. Y'all forgive her.
Right.
But when the F5 come through, they say that's the finger of God. We don't know what y'all did.
Did y'all get something?
Y'all did something. If it got outside of our speed ratio, I should say. It got way outside of that. He's moving too fast now. He's angry at this point. Just like now, everybody is asking, is this biblical?
That's right.
Is it of Bible proportion? Where can we read about the plagues in the Bible? They are scared to death. But it's only for a minute, y'all, because the money's still good. Who know what toilet paper is? Look, I don't need no biscuits and eggs. They got that. I can stop at Lee's and get some chicken. Ain't Theo.
Ain't waiting on Theo now to get out of class.
But what we can't buy is what the flu virus is using up, called toilet paper.
You can find something now.
You can find something now, what? You ain't telling?
Yeah, that's it.
Right,
that's
I caught a Family Dollar right after a truck.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Or that's that one block.
I'm already on the mission Monday morning.
Look, y'all, they got plenty of one ply. If you can see actually the brown roll through the roll is thick. You can actually see through it and see the roll. You like,
You have to use the whole roll.
that's almost no ply, ain't it?
Smoking papers.
Better get you some copies.
What?
Just don't use them edges.
What you guys says?
You know, when my grandmother was alive, she used to say, tell us when we're children, be still. When there was a storm.
Yeah.
Right.
I always say that.
Yeah, peace be still in the name of Jesus is what my mom used to tell us to say.
That's when.
Turn that TV off. Who talking?
Yep.
Who talking?
Yep.
And then lightning will strike. Boom! And she run back out.
Then my daddy say, everybody
Go to bed. We used to sing it throughout high school because it's fun.
Listen to what you're talking about. This is what your forefathers had, even though they didn't know they were Israel. These are the things, the respect they had for the Lord. Everybody lay down while he's doing his business.
Right.
Turn that TV off. Give him some respect and his work and his power. He's finna get busy. Turn that TV off.
Right.
Everybody go to bed.
And then he'll turn the TV off for you. He'll turn all the electricity off right then. Boom!
You wasn't listening?
But now, we'll be out there playing dominoes in a storm. Until one of them big ones hit, then you,
Game over.
time to go.
All right.
Y'all, and it shouldn't have to come to that for us to learn, y'all. Like now, what we're basically saying, it shouldn't come to this virus for us to want to know the Lord now. Because as soon as you see a break or the sun shine, you're going to forget all about him again.
Just like the people that had 120 years. Oh, y'all remember now. Y'all remember now.
Well, you know, I'm going to just read these two because they were asking online. And like I said, a lot of times, y'all, we don't claim to know everything, but sometimes we forget about a few things. But got the scripture where the sister asked, where does it say in any writings that he took some people off the earth before the flood? So a lot of Noah's uncles and grandfathers were removed from the earth before the flood. And this is in Jasher. It's only one verse I'm going to read really quickly so we get that out of the way so you go ahead and you ride. Because we always like to, if we put something out there, we like to back it up.
That's right.
I'm in the book of Jasher, chapter 5, verse 19. And y'all just going to read these really quickly and point to the second witness so that y'all pick up on them and then y'all understand perfectly what's taking place here. Be like, see, the Most High, he said, I won't put more on you than you can bear. Some of us ain't going to be able to handle the Antichrist, so he going to say, I'm going to stop your heart right now. You did some good work, put you to sleep.
This ain't the rapture.
This ain't the rapture. I'm just putting you out right now. You know, putting you out so you can go to sleep.
And think about that being mercy.
Yeah.
You think it'll be a painful death? You think if he decides to put you to sleep so you won't have to go through, you think he gonna let you go out in a car accident? That it'll be some sweet sleep that you go to sleep in.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna be no, you died tragically.
Right.
He had mercy on you enough to take you away from this place.
You died in your sleep.
Right, you ain't gonna have to go out in a car accident or be shot.
We'll be sitting up there on the ventilator for 4-5 days.
Exactly.
And then die.
If he call you home, he gonna call you home and it's gonna be a nice home going.
That's right.
Read on.
Jasher chapter 5 verse 19. And Lamech, the father of Noah, died in those days. Yet verily he did not go with all his heart in the ways of his father. And he died in the 595. He died in the 195th year of the life of Noah, 595 years old. And all the days of Lamech were 770 years, and he died. And all the sons of men who knew the Lord died in that year before the Lord brought evil upon them. For the Lord willed them to die, so as not to behold the evil that Yah would bring upon their brothers and relatives as he had so declared to do. So that's in there in the right. Then you got 1 Peter 3:8 where it said that Messiah went back and preached to the souls in hell when he was crucified or before the flood. Because you'll see how the time and the writing is, and then you back that up with Luke 16 of the rich man and the poor man. And on one side you got Abraham's bosom, and on the other side you got torment for the evil people before the flood. Those that are still in what's now called Abraham's bosom. And then Luke break it off. He said, let them go back and tell my brothers not to come to this place. He said they got the prophets. It still work out there. They still can learn. They ain't got to come here.
Right.
But you can't go back and tell them nothing.
Right. If they got an ear, they gonna hear it.
They ain't gonna believe you no way. They ain't gonna believe you was dead.
What you got?
Most sides always practical. He always give people a chance to repent.
Was that good, bro? Did they get that?
Even before the flood, he shook the earth violently just to scare people. So Mosiah doing this stuff down there to scare people, to draw, to see who gonna come, to scare you. Because he's trying to get as many as he can. Give you a shot.
You gonna do what I
a
say.
shot.
Right.
Even in Egypt, he did the plagues, and it took time because he's giving us, like he's right now, giving us time to repent, get ourselves together. So we can get as many people as we can come to the kingdom.
Right.
So it gives you time, because you know it's going to be hard. If you've been in Babylon for 30, 40 years, it's going to be hard to disconnect from Babylon and get into righteousness. So,
right.
You know, he don't put on board on us.
In one day.
Right.
And 2 weeks they talking about it's going to be lifted, or it's get to the point. We're trying to get to the peak of the quarantine. Books already written by wicked Stephen King and Stan, and China they had Bill Gates wrote about it, and they always wrote an end for it as well because they have to warn they people.
Where did the study come from? Where the study come from that Washington did?
That who did?
Washington State did a study showing them when the curve is going to happen and the numbers and all
well,
that.
They know
Where
just
that come
from pandemics. You know, they looking at China right now. Do they have second victims and things like this? And y'all understand that, y'all. All I'm saying is y'all watch as well as pray. Don't take this lightly like this virus don't mean nothing and you ain't a believer in your heart like you should be, and you believe that can't nothing come near you. There's no weapon form that can punish you, especially get at your soul. So you will walk through them things, but we're not to tempt the Lord. You see, we got our nurse down here. My boy. And shout out to my boy. Just had another soul day. All praise to the Most High. My boy. That's our nurse. You see, she got stuff down here that tea tree oil that everybody was mentioning online. Sniff a little of that. That'll keep your nostrils clean from virus getting up in there, because you got to deal with the tea tree oil first. She got all of the herbs over there. We got hand sanitizer, so it ain't like we're challenging or tempting the Lord. We're doing our due diligence because you don't know. The front doors are wild because they don't want people touching door handles like that.
You got some loud over there?
So y'all got to understand.
Some loud.
Look, you finna have us overrun in here. People watching the live stream will be coming down here. We have too many people in here. But what we're talking about is we're taking every needed precautions to strengthen and strengthen your belief so that you cannot say, well, I was caught short on this, y'all. We don't want to ever tempt the Lord. You know what is done. We have to take the same precautions, y'all, because people are dying.
But we fear not.
And we fear not.
We fear not those that could destroy the flesh.
That's right. The one that destroy the flesh and the soul.
The one
body and soul. So y'all
that's what we fear.
keep that on your mind, and y'all be good. All of us, we got to go to work. Y'all, we can't afford to be off.
Right. If you got to put a face mask on, don't think that you weak in the faith either. You know what I'm saying? That's just a precaution that you have to take because you someplace that ain't yours. Right. It's not like you walking around your own crib with a face mask on. We talking about if you gotta go somewhere to
face mask just protect you from giving it out.
There it is.
Some of the places not going, you need a body
face mask don't prevent you getting it. Sick people wear the face mask, right? Because they don't want to give it out. Well men ain't sitting in the emergency room, just sitting there twiddling his thumb. Rufus Merriweather. And what's your problem? Nothing.
I'm waiting on it.
I just want to come in here and see what happens in the emergency room. No, a well man don't need a doctor, y'all. We are well men if we say we believe in the Messiah. I mean, we're well men, but we understand this dying flesh. So that's the only thing we're trying to protect, that dying flesh, so that nobody sees it as appearing to die. So when you walk amongst them, they looking at you, they like, ain't got no fear of that Wuhan. Look how they just moving about like they were doing something. Just looking like you ain't talking about it, you ain't bagging up.
And it's linked to the 5G. China cut
That's
out
right.
all the
Their
5G
phone
towers.
systems. Yeah, that's right.
Well, it could be linked to anything, y'all. It could be linked to, because it said plagues are coming on Earth.
It's linked to
It's
sin.
one coming right behind. It's just like hurricanes come right behind each other. It's another one coming, y'all. This one gets us prepped how to deal with the next one. It's a faith builder. Y'all, we have to understand that, but people we know gonna get sick. We got one family member, Brother Lloyd, and his wife, they're in quarantine. They ain't been diagnosed as being positive yet.
Somebody
but his
they work with got
coworker
right.
is positive. So they have to take him out of circulation. You know, and basically he took himself out of circulation from down earth. Because he said, bro, I'm not gonna bring that. You know, so if bro's feeling it like that, that's what a body does. If the one part of the body feel like it may infect the whole body, it cuts itself off. So if you don't see somebody here, they cut themselves off. They say, I'm feeling a little something. I don't know what it is. It could be that hot sauce on that chicken, or I could be running a fever, but I'm gonna hold back. Just kidding. We got no problem with that. We know you thinking about the body.
Right.
But y'all, there's more to come that is say it's gonna be worse than before around the times of the flood of Noah. If y'all think this is worse than the flood of Noah, you got to think again, only 8 people left on planet Earth. If you add up all the numbers they say that died and got Wuhan right now, that ain't even all the people in St. Louis, is it?
Nope.
So y'all, this is not the one, it's the one that gets your attention to build your faith. If your faith is already there, all you're doing is strengthening it up even more. Because ain't nothing we can do to stop it, is it?
No, sir.
Like Ariel said a couple of days ago, if you're scared, go to church. Well, the church is closed, so that means you just got to be scared. You just got to be scared then.
You got to be scared. Go ahead, y'all.
All right, where we at?
We're in the book of Isaiah, in the 40th chapter, and we're at verse 27, and it reads, Why sayest thou, O Jacob, and speakest, O Israel, my way is hid from the Most High, and my judgment is passed over from my Elohim. Hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard that the everlasting power, the Most High, the Creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary? There is no searching of his understanding. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Most High shall.
But who that do what?
But they that wait upon the Most High shall renew their strength.
That's right.
They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint.
So this is a test of us for those that he said, if those that Daniel just said that, if you're a little weak in the faith, this is a time for you right now to strengthen your faith.
Right.
Okay? Strengthen. If you weak, that means you got to get up to another strong part. But there's some that they already up there. We just read, he said, I will strengthen the weary and the young man, those that are faint. He said, I got him. I got him. Okay? So either if you that way, he got you to get you where you need to be, or he say, that nigga there, he good. He doing what he's supposed to be doing. See what I'm saying? I don't have to strengthen him.
Right.
I don't have to strengthen her. They doing what they supposed to do. Right? How are we supposed to? How are we supposed to? We are always striving to be, but while we striving to get there, don't you think we get to a certain point where we in there, where we got it? It's like the law. It's not for a righteous man. You already know it. It's in you. You use it every day. That's where you got. That's where your faith has to be. Your faith has to be strong and strengthened, and him knowing that's my child there that I'm well pleased with. That's the one I'm well pleased with. But for the other ones that are not as strong as him, I got them.
Right.
I got them. So either if you know in yourself, I ain't strong enough, tell him to strengthen you.
Right. Do what, brother?
Bring his word back to what he said. Lord, you said you would do this for me. I feel that I'm this person and I need you.
That's right.
Give me the strength that I need to carry on, to make it through this, Lord. Because I'm not that strong, but I want to make it. And I can't make it without you. So strengthen me. Give me what I need to get through this. And you know he will. You know he will. He waiting to give it to you.
That's right.
He waiting to give it to you. So if you don't get it, whose fault is it?
Uh-oh.
All right then.
All right, brother.
Let's roll.
When Isaiah the 41st chapter, verse 1. Keep silence before me, O islands, and let the people renew their strength. Let them come near, then let them speak. Let us come near together to judgment. Who raised up the righteous man from the east, called him to his foot, gave the nations before him, and made him rule over kings. He gave them as the dust to his sword, and as driven stubble to his bow.
So you see what these nations are to him? Dust and stubble. Dust and stubble. China, Korea, Russia, United States, all of these great nations are dust and stubble. Aren't you more than dust and stubble?
Yeah.
Is he calling you dust and stubble? He calling you his own. He calling you his chosen. He calling you his people. And he's telling you right there, you greater than dust and stubble. You greater than these nations. So there's your strength. You stronger than China. You stronger than Russia. You stronger than this country here. Because they ain't nothing but dust and stubble. And you here today doing what? Serving him.
That's right.
At your appointed time and place, wherever you are tuned into his word today. You are doing what you're supposed to be doing. You are greater than dust and stubble. You're greater than these nations out here. You are greater than these nations. And he tell you, I'm going to take you up out of here and I'm going to bring you home again. I'm going to set you back up where you're supposed to be. But how do you get there? Huh? How do you get there? That's the ticket you got to pay for. With your faith. Whether you weak in it or strong in it, it's because what you do. You do. You got your job to do. He already got your check waiting, but you got to get there to get it.
You got to earn it. You got to earn it.
You got to. You got to put your
You gotta
work
earn
in.
it, you gotta go get it.
Exactly.
It ain't
You got to put
it
your
ain't no
work in.
direct deposit.
Right, direct deposit, exactly, because he's not doing it for you. If it was direct deposited, you'd be saved.
That's right.
You'd be saved if it was direct deposited. And you got your pink slips there already waiting on you, say, here you ride, here your check, already in the bank, you saved. No, I still got work to do. I still got work to do. My work don't start when this class is over. Okay, my work continues on.
Every day, all day.
All day. I texted Zeb yesterday, I found some more scriptures to add to this, so don't get mad at me. You know what I'm saying? Because I kept on studying. I wrote these scriptures out yesterday at the job in the park, and then continued on and found more scriptures and texted Zeb back, hey, I got some more.
That was on your lunch break.
Right.
Hey, we can't even put people out there like that.
Go ahead. He was a chicken. Go ahead.
So once I'm saved, I'm not always saved.
No.
Boy, try it.
No.
Try it.
Always
Try it.
subject to sin.
Try it. You get saved first, then you tell me how you did it. Okay? And then we'll go from there. But you get that first, and then you tell me how you did
But you're
it.
sure though? So
Yeah,
I can't
I'm
just
positive.
take it easy
I'm
after
positive.
Say the Lord's, the little prayer, whatever they get.
That's right.
Yo,
John
that old man,
3:16.
you waiting.
Now, John 3:16, there's a 15 and a 17 that go with that too.
That's right.
Let's read on.
Verse 3. He pursued them and passed safely, even by the way that he had not gone with his feet. Who hath wrought and done it, calling the generations from the beginning? I, the Most High, the first, and with the last, I am he. The isles saw and feared. The ends of the earth were afraid, drew near and came. They helped everyone his neighbor, and everyone said to his brother, be of good courage.
That's why we're here today, right?
That's right.
That's what this class is about today, right? For us to be in good courage with each other and to encourage each other during these times. During these times, if we see somebody that's weak in the faith, strengthen them up.
That's right.
Iron sharpeneth iron, right?
Oh, no,
And
we're
if we-
supposed to tear down, eh? We're supposed to tear them down, eh?
Right.
Call out all their iniquity.
Right,
Right?
right. Wrong. Let's roll.
Despite the molding my own eye.
Right.
Verse 7. So the carpenter encouraged the goldsmith, and he that smootheth with the hammer, him that smote the anvil, saying, it is ready for the soldering. And he fastened it with nails, that it should not be moved. But thou, Yisrael, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham my friend. Thou whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, thou art my servant. I have chosen thee, and not cast thee away. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy Elohim. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness.
Okay, so y'all look, I'm being quiet doing this on purpose because I'm letting the Lord speak for himself. He don't need my help in this. He don't need my help in this. Let him speak for himself. Keep reading.
Verse 11. Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish. Thou shalt seek them, and shall not find them, even them that contended with thee. They that war against thee shall be as nothing, and as a thing of naught. For I, the Most High, thy Elohim, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith the Most High, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains, and beat them small, and shalt make the hills as chaff. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them, and thou shalt rejoice in Yahweh, and shalt glory in the Holy One of Israel.
So when we seeing these things going on, what are we supposed to be doing? We see him working.
That's right.
And what did he say? Rejoice. So we not walking around here. I ain't talked to a Hebrew yet. Talking about, man, I'm scared. You know what I'm saying? Give me some scriptures. You know, no, it's like, hey, y'all everybody stay strong. We ain't had to put chapter and verse out with nothing. All we do is send out encouraging texts to our brother and our sister saying, y'all hold tight. Just keep doing, keep moving, doing what you're doing. Ain't nothing else to worry about. We had to sit down and study this. We had to sit down and say, well, let's find out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? No, this is why we doing this today. We going back to look at times we done been through this.
Yeah.
And he done seen us through. That's all we doing.
Yes, sir.
That's all we doing. We ain't giving you no instructions on how to, now you got to change your game and do it to get it through this time. No. Keep doing what you've been doing. What you got?
We are now in the age of Yahuwah Shabbat. We start to turn our curses on our enemy.
Right.
And the more and more we awaken, the more and more we come back to our covenant, the more the judge is going to pick up.
Right.
That's Yahuwah Shabbat. He got when we in covenant with him, when we his people, he got to avenge us. He got to get rid of the enemy. He got to judge the nation that has. That's right.
And see, the key, one word you said there was avenge. What side you gonna be on?
Right.
You gonna be on the carnivore side and get sick and be a part of the punishment, or you gonna be on the avenging side that he's got for you, that he's taking care of, and you ain't got to get out there and do it. This battle that's going on, he already got that for you. You just stay on the right side. Because if you do something wrong and he put you over to the other side, you're gonna be the one that's gonna be on the avenging side.
Slow down.
He's going right. You go get. Do it. Say it again, boy. say it again, boy.
Slow down. Stay in the righteous lane.
Right there. Right there.
Not partakers of our sin.
That's right.
We partakers of our plagues.
Right. We ain't doing nothing. My household ain't changed.
Right.
My household ain't changed. I ain't done nothing different, but praying more. You know what I'm saying? And knowing what he's saying and instructing my rib and trying to keep her strong. You know what I'm saying? Doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but I ain't got to change my routine. He say pray 3 times a day, right? Did he say now you got to start praying 5 because I'm starting to move? No, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Now y'all think about if while you at work or something and quarantine hit and your route to get back home blocked and they point you a different direction. You can't go back home at this point. So all your supplies and stuff, everything, so what you got to depend on now? Who you gonna depend on?
The Most High.
See, because y'all, when you're looking at the lockdown, you can't look at it as the point that I'm gonna be already perfectly situated. Got all my water, got all my stuff. I'm ready to go. I wish they would call it now while I'm stopped like this. I wish they would.
Right.
But they gonna do it while you looking in the aisle at Walmart. Okay, that's it right there. Let me get this. Woo, woo, woo. No, you ain't stealing. FEMA out there.
Right.
And everybody we're hurting. Right, we're hurting this way. We can't let you go back this way.
Right.
You have to go this way. So your faith is gonna have to be strong, cause now communicate. What y'all doing over there at home? Y'all getting it together? What you doing? What Junior? Junior doing what he need to be, and he reading the scriptures. Okay, good. They got me, y'all. Either I'm gonna see y'all in the kingdom, or I'll see y'all here joining me in a few seconds.
Right.
Either or, that's the way it's gonna be. But you're not gonna get what you want in this captivity.
Right.
In this plague, when it hit, you're not gonna get to run back to your supplies. This is going to be a test of where you're going to have to trust in the Most High at this point.
That's right.
I can't go home. They black at the streets block.
Right.
What I'm gonna do?
Right.
Break
Right.
curfew and National Guard out. What I'm gonna do about my supply? Your supply should be right here.
There you go. That's your Dollar General right there. That's all the toilet paper you need.
All
the toilet paper you need right there.
Because at this point, it's on. And you can't go back to tell nobody. They're not gonna allow you to go back. You think because you moved from one part of Babylon to another part of Babylon, you safe?
Right, the rules changed.
It's still Babylon.
That's right.
It's still taxable. Come 1 year, you're gonna get your note in the wilderness, drop down. Pay them taxes. Or we coming and get that man.
You might be escaping, but you still owe us.
Man, some of it's tomfoolery. You're gonna escape Babylon in Babylon.
Right.
What kind of fool? I mean, it's starting to get ridiculous.
Right. You hear it in every city, in every state. Everybody acting up. Now the governor of Mississippi acting up. You know
Y'all
what I
better
mean?
get out of them cities. They're playing out in the wilderness. Ain't they?
Right.
Them the true hunters, maybe up in tree stands. Ain't nobody looked up.
That's right.
Send a drone through there looking for body temperatures. You through. At least in the cities we can move about, run over here, run through there, hide in the basement.
That's right.
But out in the wilderness, you out there.
You leaving home.
And whoever else you with. Now, if you praying strong, the Lord will put a covering over you.
Right.
But if you fleeing from one part of Babylon to the other, he said, I'm just going to send the arrow right behind you over there.
Yeah, that's what you get for cheating. Trying to cheat. You got caught up. You can't stay at home like I told you to keep your tail at home. You wouldn't have been out there.
You can't escape his persecution.
That's right.
Right, and understand that, y'all, what sense is? Ain't no salvation location. Y'all, all we talking about is get prepped here first before you start stacking up.
Then you won't have to worry about where you
And
at.
then you won't have to worry about that. When everybody else, y'all, they ain't even got no water here. You drinking off of living water.
Right.
You know it can be done at least 40 days. Because there's countless of men that did it, Messiah. Ezekiel did it, Moses did it, so you know it's on record that sinners did it for 40 days, 960 hours. You like, at least that's recorded. Lord say I can at least do that. Please be with me these 960 hours. But we get practice for that called Day of Atonement.
Right.
And look, y'all, I'm talking about you ain't 13 hours in and you wringing hands.
That's on the growling right now.
You got little Caesars on speed dial.
Right. Soon as the sun, you standing there waiting for the sun. They say it go down at 7:22 today. 7:20, 7:21, 7:22. It's on. See now, if you waiting on the sun to go down, then you just washed away your atonement.
Right.
You washed away your atonement. Okay? Read on.
Verse 17. When the poor and needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue faileth for thirst, I, the Most High, will hear them. I, the Elohim of Israel, will not forsake them. I will open rivers in high places, and fountains in the midst of the valley.
Wait a minute, that should say he's gonna take me back to my supplies, shouldn't he?
Yes, now.
He's gonna take me back to the water I got, right?
No, he said, no, I got your water. I got your water. I got your manna.
Okay,
That's right.
I got you.
I will open rivers in high places, and fountains in the midst of the valleys. I will make the wilderness a pool of water, and the dry land springs of water. I will plant in the wilderness the cedar, the shittah tree, and the myrtle, and the oil tree. I will set in the desert the fir tree, and the pine, and the box tree together.
So he's taking that wilderness, that desert wilderness. We see that he said to make the dry places and pools and stuff like that. So not only is he bringing water to the wilderness and into the desert. Why is the desert called a desert?
Nothing grows there.
Nothing there, right? So he said, now that I got you out here in this wilderness and I make these pools, I'm also going to bring you trees.
Right.
To sit under for shade. Okay, where do you see trees at in a desert? Right, there's cactuses and things like that that can survive in the desert. But he's saying, no, while I have you in this place, I'm gonna feed you, you're gonna drink good, and you're gonna have shade. Okay? So it's not gonna be what anymore? It's not gonna be a wilderness. It's gonna set it up like the crib.
And when y'all see the Messiah, instead of like people will try to trick you up about about the Messiah saying, where in the Old Testament does it say he's gonna be on the earth 3 days and 3 nights? That ain't what the Pharisees asked him. They said, give us a sign. What's gonna happen? He said, the only sign you get is like Jonah. So don't let him throw you over there to be hunting for something. Now, that wasn't the question the Pharisees asked him. They asked how long? He said, let me tell you, it's gonna be like Jonah. That's the best I can do for y'all. But if y'all really read Jonah with what we just read here, when you see he made a shade for Jonah that protected him from the sun. And in the morning, the sun withered it away. And he was back sweating. He was like, I told you I got you. But you just won't listen to me. So when you read Jonah, y'all really need to get in there and understand what he say. This is what it's going to be like. When the sun is shining, there's no shade, you're going to look up and there's a bush going to be like this. And you go sit up under it. So go through Jonah, all of those chapters, and look what he did for Jonah. And Jonah was fighting, but he's like, well, why you had to go through all that? Couldn't you just told me you weren't going to destroy Nineveh?
That's right.
If he said, if I had told you they repented and was in sackcloth, you wouldn't have listened to me. You're hard headed. Now I had to get you in that fish belly for you to even get your attention.
Right.
Yeah. So listen to what I'm doing. I'm going to take you through some things so you can see.
Right.
Just like he did Moses. The children of Israel ain't gonna listen to me. You know your people. He said, well, I guess what? I gotta make you a believer first. Stick your hand in here and bring it back. Oh! Turn it back! So he had to make him a believer first. And then when he go to Pharaoh, he's sound. His heart is fixed because he know what he done already with it. Now go over there and look at that bush. And he's saying it's burning. Ain't no smoke and the leaves ain't. How is it still green? How is it still green? So y'all, them the type things that made Moses believe this is the God of planet Earth and heaven. This is him because he make that situation. So what we read, y'all, it ain't a story attached to it. That's what references do. Go look at Jonah, like he said about Daniel. Go back and read the book of Daniel. How many chapters in Daniel?
14.
12. But I'm just saying, he didn't say go to chapter 7, verse 9. You shall find your answer there. Read all of Daniel because Daniel is talking about the last kingdoms on this earth. The feet of that Nebuchadnezzar statue. He said, this is where we at. You need to read all of that. That's the best I can do for you. Go read Daniel. Because y'all, if he bring us the water, then we're going to tell, can you put it in my mouth?
Can you rub my throat and make it go down?
Yeah, can you wipe my lip? I'm feeling that hole in my lip I got to fix. It's a little bit right there.
And the prophecy, it said that the miracles this time aren't going to be so great. We need to talk about that for a second.
Come on, man.
So, we got manna and we got chicken and biscuit last time. I'm trying to see what we get this time. We might get a whole Chick-fil-A.
Look at that. Look at that boy. That boy hungry, man. Look, he hungry. Sweet potatoes, man. This boy saying,
That boy looking for some red and white stripes in the wilderness. With a man smiling with some glasses on with them 7 herbs and spices. That's what you want.
Hey, he said greater, right?
Look, he said greater.
He might court the
I feel you, bro.
That's right. That's that boy face. He already got the meal he wants.
Look, what he's saying ain't too far-fetched because the second Ezra tells you that everybody that they had manna, whatever you wanted to taste to be on the righteous list though. You could make it taste like catfish. You're going to get a regurgin. It's going to be a blowout in your shorts. If you try to make manna bread unclean. If you wanted to taste like lamb chops, then that's what it would taste like. To you, and you'd be like, this is a miracle. But you can't make it taste like a chitlin loaf.
Some you got from the pig palace.
None of that.
They gonna come up with that for real.
Pig palace.
No,
No, she's letting already out.
Right, anything that's unclean is wrong. Where we at?
Verse 20. The book of Isaiah, chapter 41 and verse 20. That they may see and know and consider and understand together that the hand of the Most High hath done this, and the Holy One of Israel hath created it. Produce your cause, saith the Most High. Bring forth your strong reasons, saith the King of Jacob. Let them bring them forth, and show us what shall happen. Let them show the former things, what they be, that we may consider them, and know the latter end of them.
Know the what?
The latter end of them, or declare us things for to come.
So right here, where we started in this verse 21, this is the Lord telling them, the kings,
Right.
produce your cause.
That's right.
So this is a flip right here at this verse 21. He said, I can do all this, now what can y'all do?
Right.
So let's start that over at 21 again and look at it into the perspective of what he's speaking. He's speaking it into that perspective. I'm the Lord. I created all this.
That's
what
right.
can you do? Produce your cause. Show me what you can do. Since you think you so great and you not obeying me. You not worshiping me. You standing on your own. So show me what you can do.
Right.
That's what he's saying. Start that over.
Verse 21. Produce your cause, saith the Most High. Bring forth your strong reasons, saith the King of Jacob. Let them bring them forth, and show us what shall happen. Let them show the former things, what they be, that we may consider them, and know the latter end of them, or declare us things for to come. Show the things that are to come hereafter, that we may know that ye are God.
That we may know that you're what?
That ye are God. Yea, do good or do evil, that we may be dismayed and behold it together. Behold, ye are of nothing, and your work of naught. An abomination is he that chooseth you.
So I just want to think, bro.
Me too.
Produce your cause, y'all. So when you hear Egyptologists talking about we had all the civilization, y'all, this is the thing. You have to produce your cause. What is the end game? So where do we go from here? Since you're the father of science, you all of this. What is the end game? Do we stay in this position that we in right now in America? Or what does the writings out of the book of the dead tell us what's coming to pass? Where is our out other than knowing I'm an Egyptian? What is the game plan? Because we got another man in charge. Ain't no Egyptians on the money.
Right.
What's your end game for us? Y'all, and that's all we have to ask. What is the end game? Because we see the end game for us, the book of Revelation.
That's right.
The revealing of Hamashiach.
That's right.
Most of them just repeating what somebody else said.
And we know
somebody
that.
told me, oh, they stole that about Christ out of Egypt.
Right.
I say, what page of the book of the dead?
Yeah.
What's the book of the dead?
Yeah, see that? See what we talking about? See, he know more about their doctrine than they do.
Right.
But that's how you be geared up. That's what we supposed to do. Know your enemy. Know the wiles of the devil. It didn't say learn them. It said know them. It's two different things. When you see evil, you point somebody. Don't do that, man. That's what the scriptures are saying. You ain't supposed to do that. He don't mean you start practicing to know them. Woo, that burnt me. Woo, that almost burnt my elbow. Oh, that's what he means right there, huh? No, he don't want you going through all of that because you'll conjure up a demon. See why he don't want me playing with a Ouija board. And then it jump out on you. No, he say that's a Ouija board. Everybody here stay away from a Ouija board.
That's right.
That's what he means. Not practicing it and playing with it, you become a warlock.
This cat at my job week before last told me, he said, I finally understood what you said. I done took that cross off. And he showed me a pyramid. I said, put the cross back on. I said, you done went left field. I said, put the cross back on. And then I was making so bad, I went home and just started texting them scriptures and sending them classes. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, don't do that. I mean, I saw him on the parking lot afterwards. He told me that in the morning. When we came back to the yard, when I was pulling out the truck, I said, you know you on my list. And he was like, what? I said, I'll get you in a minute. Wait till I get home. Just stay by your phone. You know, and I got to the crib and I just started sending them stuff. I said, man, you got something twisted somewhere. I didn't tell you to take the cross off and pick up that. Right. Nigga, I've been telling you this. Right. How do you go from taking off the cross and putting this down and coming to me telling me you done did something good? Nigga, if I said anything about what you got into now, was I ever directing you that towards Egyptology? Well, they talk about Christ. I said, boy, please. I said, you on my list. Boy. You know better than that. I ain't never told you no mess like that. Put that cross back on. You know what I'm saying? For what you doing. We gonna start over. Right. Let's start back from scratch. Let's get your mind back on this. Let's get your mind back on this first. Right. You have to be quick to go. What? The sinister?
Yeah, no, the dude. And I noticed, I pick up on stuff. And the first time you listen to him speak, I don't listen to him for info, but I listen to him. Sometimes he's saying some stuff that makes sense. But when I listened to him, he was quoting everything from scripture.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he always do that.
Nothing from the Quran.
Since the 80s.
I'm like, that's the way. That's why I asked him, why are you quoting from the scriptures if you got the Quran? What? Don't you just, because people...
Brother, you know your Bible?
Yeah. Right.
Brother, they say, brother, do you know your Quran?
I ain't never heard
He
that.
never said that. Right. Never said that. That's why we get blamed for it when somebody hear us for the first time. When they hear us quote one scripture, oh, you a Muslim. How you get that?
Right.
And even their fasting period, they studied the Bible. Farrakhan has even said we are the children of Israel. So why are you
dealing with a lie?
One smile.
Right. Where does Allah come from?
Look, one smile, two faces. Right. He smiled the same way when he talked about Messiah as he do Elijah Muhammad. One smile, two faces.
Is that in the word somewhere? I don't know.
He's a man, he's double-minded. Right. Now he's into Dianetics, Ron L. Hubbard.
Yeah.
Y'all know he into Scientology. Now he promotes it.
Ain't he amazing?
And he makes it. So y'all, once you understand these things, you just say, and ask him, what's our end game? What you gonna do?
Right.
He's saying, well, I tell you what, we won't tell the American government we want 3 states.
Create your heaven on earth, my brother.
Look,
Right.
he's asking the United States government.
Out there at Kings Highway and Natural Bridge.
We want 3 states. Y'all can have the other 47. You're still running from Babylon. In Babylon.
Nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide.
I mean, it don't make sense. We gonna run that, and the government, the Senate, and the Republicans still running those 3 states that you in.
I want to hit this right here in this verse 23 again, where he was that when the Lord is talking to these people about show their cause, he's saying here, show these things, show the things that are to come hereafter, that we may know that ye are gods.
Right.
So you got to prove that to me first.
Right.
Yea, do good or do evil, that we may be dismayed and behold it together. So do something to make me scared. See what I'm saying? The Lord is just what he's testing. If you got the power to do this, you got the power to do good, and you got the power to do evil. Nigga, do something make me scared. That's what he's saying.
Right.
Prove your cause.
That's right.
Scare me.
Right. And the Antichrist gonna scare a lot. But you know what he ain't gonna be able to do? Resurrection.
That's right.
He gonna never be able to resurrect. So you may see him do some things that magicians in ancient Egypt was doing, throwing their staff down. They made frogs come up. They made flies come up. But it came on them. It didn't come to the land of Goshen. Just like if they create this virus, they getting it.
Right.
We're getting it because we amongst that, but we got to get our game up and get in here and get our minds back right so we can get that part of the virus off of. But they're doing the same things as the magicians did in Egypt. They're creating things to beat their own self up, to prove that they are some supernatural God, but they're killing themselves.
Very smart though. Why would you dream to do the same thing?
That ain't smart. That's not smart. It'd be different if they put the Most High put a curse down and they took it away. This is where we at right now. See, they didn't take it away. They doubled it up. They doubled it up.
Like
you say,
heroin on up, and now you got the epidemic out there.
right.
Now everybody get Narcan.
Right. Crackheads didn't get it. Crackheads didn't. They got beat.
They teaching babies how to save dope fiends now.
Right.
And you know, tripping, hit them in the leg with this.
But think about it. The dope fiend babies that they teaching to save dope fiends is their own family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, it's not like we got to get Uncle Rufus, because he out on that mess like that. No, it's them the ones that are going through this and them the ones that's teaching. But they didn't care. Well, I'm trying to keep my mouth quiet. They didn't care nothing about us. Like I heard Daniel say once before, this new stuff is a payback for what they did with crack for us. Right. You know what I'm saying? So now they getting it back. But look at how they're being taken care of now. Did the police officer got some anti-crack bring you down stuff in the trunk of his car?
Nope.
When they pull up on the scene, you out there wilding out, or they concerned about taking care of you? No, but they pull up on the scene for them, they trying to save lives.
There was no stop crack stickers. There's only stop heroin.
Right.
So, go ahead.
Go ahead. That's all I was gonna say, bro. Yeah, they have that for them, but it's not gonna help them because they're legalizing their addiction.
That's what it is. They legalizing their
And look, and when they bring them back, you know what they do? They curse the police out. What you do that for? I was fine, man.
You gotta pay for that.
You actually know they're telling them you blew my high.
Saving their life. Saving their life.
No, I ain't going with you.
Right. Saving their life. Let's keep going, y'all. I want to get through all this.
We're in the book of Isaiah, chapter 41 and verse 25. I have raised up one from the north, and he shall come. From the rising of the sun shall he call upon my name. And he shall come upon princes as upon mortar, and as the potter treadeth clay, who hath declared from the beginning, that we may know, and before time, that we may say, he is righteous. Yeah, there is none that showeth. Yeah, there is none that declareth. Yeah, there is none that heareth your words. The first shall say to Zion, behold, behold them, and I will give to Jerusalem one that bringeth good tidings. For I beheld, and there was no man, even among them, and there was no counselor, that when I asked of them, could answer a word. Behold, they are all vanity. Their works are nothing. Their molten images are wind and confusion.
Wind and confusion.
Right. We got 42 and 43, then 46 and 47.
Wind and confusion. That's all they got, y'all. The best thing they do, all you get is fart.
Yeah, that's what I said. Break wind and then
there's the confusion. Ooh.
That's all they got coming. What we here?
42.
Where did they come from?
You got that, bro? That's what you still?
It's on you, I do too.
Okay.
I can read these two, and then you read those. You read 46 and 47.
I mean, you need to.
Hey, now we're gonna keep this moving.
Go ahead.
All right, verse 42. Chapter 42. Maybe I shouldn't. Behold my servant, whom I uphold, mine elect, in whom my soul delighteth. I have put my spirit upon him. He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles.
I just want y'all to hold right here just a second. Go ahead. Read. But it's verse 8 that Muslims will bring to you all the time to say that there's no Messiah.
Right.
But you have to bag them up to verse 1. This ain't Israel. This is not the body of Israel with this job title on him. This is not the body. The body has to be corrected. This is a body without blemish. This is a body without sin that's speaking of 42 and 1. So when they run you right to 8, have them bag up to verse 1.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Verse 2. He shall not cry nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street. A bruised reed shall he not break, and the smoking flax shall he not quench. He shall bring forth judgment unto truth.
So we know that ain't Israel, because Israel is crazy. There's so many doctrines out here. This is about one individual that he said, this we're gonna bring judgment to the Gentiles. Look, how we gonna, most of these camps want to bring judgments to Israel.
Right.
Because they say when we kill all the other nations, y'all gonna be our servants. Go ahead.
Verse 4. He shall not fail nor be discouraged till he have set judgment in the earth, and the isles shall wait for his law.
For whose law?
For his law. Thus saith God the Lord, he that created the heavens and stretched them out, he that spread forth the earth, and that which cometh out of it, he that giveth breath unto the people upon it, and spirit to them that walk therein. I the Lord have called them in righteousness. Call thee in righteousness, and will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant of people, for a light of the Gentiles. So we see that there's a difference in people that he's talking to just by the division of the Gentile here. He's telling his people what he gonna do to them, for these people.
That's right.
To open the blind eyes, to bring out the prisoners from the prison, and them that sit in darkness out of the prison house. So y'all know that they let the prisoners go, but y'all got to understand it still. It's for this reason they're letting them out. Not that it's his time, that it's time for us to come out. When it's time for us to leave, they are letting these prisoners, so you can't use this and let them, anybody, like he say, take this back to verse 1 when the mothers start hollering. So just because we see that these prisoners are getting let out today, it don't mean that this is still that time.
Right.
It's that it's still that time. It's because of what's going on today that they're letting them out to try to keep this thing as quarantine and control as they can.
Right.
But it ain't because the Lord say, let my people go.
Right.
They ain't letting everybody out.
That's right.
Warrants getting let out. Speeding tickets getting let out. Seatbelt tickets.
Cartel. They let somebody with a cartel
Let
out.
a guy go with a murder.
Who?
Did that?
No, he beat that. They ain't letting no murderers go. Who?
No. That's on the Justice Center. He got murder and a rape charge.
And he's in jail right now with murder and rape.
They let him go.
And they let him back on the streets.
Man.
They ain't got no case against him.
Right.
But
They let him out because they ain't ready to try him. They ain't gonna spend the money. They just holding him till they got another witness to prove he the one, but they ain't letting out no murder. You know what that's gonna do? You know what type of virus they're gonna put out there?
Right. They want them out. That's why they let them out. They want them out.
Every murderer in there gonna start coughing. And what's the name in Florida say TK69? What's that rapper name with all these tattoos?
Tekashi 69.
They told him hell no. You sit right there. Trump's lawyers. He ain't got nothing but a few months to go. They know sit right there. So and whoever this boy is, he got some pull.
Yeah.
Or they ain't got no evidence on him, really. They just holding him till they catch him. One or the other, man, but they ain't letting no murderers out, man. That'd be worse than the virus. Because he gonna get killed, man. And who looking for him?
That's what they want. That's one less nigga to deal with.
That may be the plan.
They let him
That's
out on the
plan.
street. They know
That's
somebody
what
looking
it
for
is.
him. So we won't have to try him. We'll let the streets try him. What you got real quick so we can go?
that's you can take that spiritual too to bring us out of the darkness of these religions.
Right.
Doctrines. Because we're imprisoning the mind.
See, because that's what most men get indoctrinated in jail with that Muslim talk.
Well, I saw a cartoon the other day that said that yeah, go to jail and become a Muslim.
So that's when they get indoctrinated at. So that's when they change their life around. Either they coming out, but they're coming out with religion, y'all.
Right.
And we know what religion is. Pure religion, the tongue is tamed. So anybody talking anything, the tongue is tamed. That means it'll never blaspheme against the writings. Go ahead.
Okay, this verse 8. I am the Lord. That is my name.
Right.
I am the Lord. That is my name.
Right.
So he's telling you who I am.
Yeah.
He's telling you right up front who I am, and that's my name, right? So it goes on and says, and my glory will I not give to another, neither my praise to graven images.
So we got 1 Corinthians 11, who's the glory of the Father?
The Son.
So that can't be leapfrog. That's why I say there's no other way. And you come any other way, you're what?
Thief and a robber.
So that's who is glory to. Now who's the glory of Messiah?
Us.
So who's the glory of the man?
The woman.
You see how it goes down. So this is all he's saying. My glory I will not give to another. This don't mean he's talking about the Messiah.
Right.
He started on verse 1 saying, behold my servant. Let me tell you, I'm not going to, this who got my glory. I'm not going to give it to nobody else.
Right.
Ain't nobody else stepping up. Elijah Muhammad is not an addition to the Bible. He's not next on the list.
Right.
What about Allah?
No Allah, the moon god, Allah.
Leo, you're trying my patience today.
So what we're saying is, he said, this I will not give my glory to nobody else. Because we keep reading the Lord and
His Son.
the Holy One.
That's right.
The mighty Redeemer.
That's right.
He keeps saying and. That's an addition, that's another person. And on the scene. So he's saying, that's what he's saying. I will never give my glory to nobody else. I promise it to him for what he did. Ain't nobody else did. And then you got, I'm just saying, you got Negroes out here now because they joining up with all of this madness. Talking about, well, it don't really mean he was born of a virgin. It really mean he just never sinned. Well, what does that do for him when they say all have sinned and fallen short of the what?
Lord.
What makes him different when all the scripts say there was no sin found on him, neither guile in his mouth, for he sinned not. If he born like that way and you just saying it is sin, something caused him or changed his chemical makeup that he could not be part of that, for all sin and falling short of the glory. If you're going to put him in that regular birth, then how does he escape that?
And what the Most High said here when he said, I will not give my glory to another, we know that the Messiah has risen 3 days later and sitteth at his right hand. Well, he's not talking about his son right here. What he's saying, I will not give my glory to another, is like he say, who can sit beside me?
Right.
We know his son is beside him, but in this time when he's talking to these people and what he's saying, he said when he not give his glory to them, that means that there is no other gods but him, right?
That's right.
So he's not going to put Buddha up next to him on his left side.
That's right.
That's what he's talking about right there. And not giving his glory to, because who can sit beside him? Nobody but his son.
And nobody else.
Right? So ain't no little man-made, little fat boy with big stomach. He gonna sit up there and sit down there next to him and say, it's me, my son, and Buddha now. Y'all listen to him now, sitting on my left-hand side. Do what Buddha say. No, he said, I give my glory to nobody. Nobody gets none of this. You get it. You be obedient, you get it. Right. Okay, but that's not what he said. So we ain't not discounting the son like he ain't there. Right. He ain't talking about his son right here. He talking about these man-made gods and the figments of their own imagination.
Right.
You gonna put that up? And we read about the workmen with the gold and making the image. We know what happened with Aaron. Had to do that. Right, Aaron had to do that. That's a different. And he didn't say I take that golden calf and I'm gonna give that glory. That's what y'all want to worship. I'm gonna let that be me for y'all.
Right. See, because ain't no man ever seen the Father.
That's right.
No man. So how you gonna make an image of what you ain't never seen?
There you go.
And if you did see, he said, I'll put you to death. Every prophet, Samson's mom, his father, how you seen the face of God and you ain't dead? So they saw the representation, like in the burning bush. In Joshua 10th chapter, who you think that was? The representation of the Most High. Said the captain of the army's host. That's what it says. It says, so even in the Old Testament, Joshua is bowing and Moses is bowing to an individual that's not the Most High.
That's right. We're going there.
And it's told this who you ought to be listening to. Moses said in 18, look, another prophet coming. That's who we ought to be listening to. The captain of the host of the army of the Lord, it said he's the captain of his army. That don't make him the Almighty. He's the captain of the army.
Not the general.
So in Revelation, who's coming with Messiah? 10,000 of his saints. And the Father ain't with him. The Father said, handle your business. Earth is yours. This mine. This mine. Handle your business. That was created for you.
Right.
Just read
Look, we got a question to answer. Flip back to chapter 26, verse 20. It says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chamber, and shut thy doors about thee.
Yes, sir.
Hide thyself as it were for a little moment,
Right.
until the indignation be overpassed.
That's right.
So that's what that's saying right there is exactly what we're doing. We because of what's going on and because the land say, see, look, the land say this supposed to be shut down, right?
Right.
But we snuck down here practically. You know what I'm saying? To have class today.
We 6 feet apart.
Right, but the fact that the class still has to go on, we not shutting ourselves up in our houses because it say that we have to. We go here and he say till this time pass. We just continue doing what we doing while this thing is going over till this time passes and we can all come out again.
That's right.
But the fact that he's saying here, he's telling us to come do this. Yeah, we come do this now.
Look, hide yourself and mean you're not a part of the world anymore.
That's right.
It don't mean you're going out to the wilderness, because if that's the case, then it would be clearer documentation there. And he's just saying, look, cut yourself off from the world. Hide yourself from the world. Just don't be a part of them till this thing come to pass. You can't just walk in the evil like a lot of times the Most High say, I knew that thought, and he escaped from it.
Right.
You know, all they were looking for, he say, where I'm going, you can't find me.
Right.
You know, so when you read the language, a lot of people just read straight through. No, it said it right there.
Right.
You may want to escape and hide, but where are you hiding? Because it's not telling you where the location at.
Right.
That's gonna be a problem. Where you gonna hide where it ain't mentioned?
That's right.
Everybody
Right.
that talk about the wilderness make up their own wilderness.
Right. He would
It's
give
over
us
here.
directions.
We had one Negro around here back when we was on Goodfellow and Page and Taylor. Said it was 30 minutes past Six Flags and only me and this brother know where it's at.
That sounds like something.
I say, well, what happened? That's where it was. They had to been out to
Merrimack
Park
Park.
and say only me and him. I say, what happens when either one of you die? And they looked at each other. They're like, well, damn, you didn't say nothing about that. See, they didn't even have an outplan for something simple. What happens if either one of you die? How we gonna know what a wilderness is? So you telling me it's 40 million of us here, and then we got 11 other tribes got to meet out at 30 minutes past Six Flags. How is that going to work?
And you ain't told nobody.
And y'all ain't telling nobody, you just saying the Lord told us. That came and went.
You're gonna get it.
So y'all, this is what we talking about. Whenever he say hide, y'all have to look at the point. Is he pinpointing location?
Right.
You know the only point he pinpoint location in tribulation? He say, if you be in Judea, do what? Flee to where? To the Mount of Olives. He said the Mount of Olives is going to split open just like it says in Zechariah 14th chapter. Run down into the valley and it's going to close up because every nuclear bomb on earth pointed toward Jerusalem. The only thing gonna stop that power of nuclear warhead. The mountain gonna split open and it's gonna close back up. Zechariah 14, Joel, all of them say the same exact thing. If you be in Judea, are we in Judea?
No,
So don't count us here and do it.
Nope.
So where's our hiding place? So y'all, this is what I'm saying. You will never see any other place that where he said physically hide or where hide is at. It's in the homeland. And it's in a specific location. If you be in Jerusalem.
Right.
If your aunt had, she be your aunt.
And it don't say that if you still in the land of your captivity, go here.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Because if you look at here, back at 20 again, because I'm going to read these 20 and 21 for understanding. But the first thing we know is that because of Adam's transgression, we were supposed to work and get our yield from the earth, right? So first of all, if you ain't been doing what you supposed to be doing according to your punishment, you ain't gonna have no chamber. Okay, because it say, come my people. enter thou into thy chamber.
Right.
Nigga, how you got your own chamber living with somebody else?
Right. You don't
That's the point. That's the point. You got to have your own chamber.
Look. And to go in there and pray.
And all the things, he says shut thy doors. If you ain't got no door to shut, if your door to shut is your bedroom door, because you living with somebody else, you understand what I'm saying? So this verse 20 says, for behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. He's telling us, go in here, because I don't want you to see what I'm finna do to these people.
Right.
Just like why Lot's wife was not supposed to turn around and look back on that destruction.
Yes,
he said, I'm finna put down. Don't look back on this. So right here, he's telling us, go in your chamber till I tell you to come back out.
Right.
Because I'm finna do something to these people.
What he say, go to sleep.
Yeah. Everybody go to bed.
You like,
And they still up. Your parents still up though. You gotta go to bed with your parents still up kicking it. Because they grown. See, so it's...
Yeah, they want you to have respect early.
So here it is. Right, exactly. It says, for behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more be covered, shall cover her slain. So if you ain't in your chamber, where are you at? You out in the world. And what did he say? I'm coming to what? Put this down on these people out here in the world. Get your tail out there and see what happens. And you get caught up in it. You get caught up in it because you wasn't doing what you're supposed to do in the first place, being where he told you to go. Go in your chamber.
That's right. Good explanation, bro. Outstanding. But so, because the only reason you need to explain like this, because people out there see, that's the scripture to say, get out of there. But you don't have any other direction or information. Hide yourself.
Get out of
where? This all we asking. Where do we go? Where? All you guys should say, where? You know how kids say, but why?
Right.
But where? That's all we're gonna keep at. But where? But where?
And they're not gonna stop till you answer that question.
But where? I'm gonna keep asking. But where do we go if you're saying this means get out of trouble? Where is that location? Some say it's down there. Some say it's in Demona. Well, we know what's going on in Demona.
Yeah.
We know what's going on over at Jim Jones' place where it was. But where is the location? Where can you find other than what it say? If you be escaped of the pearl, or if it start and you be in Judea, flee to the mountains. If you be anywhere else, hide yourself in your chamber.
Right.
Get your prayer and fasting on, just like Matthew 6. It says, this is how we pray. How we pray? First, go in your chamber. Close the door.
Right.
And when you close the door, you hid from everybody else. Then talk to the Lord and get that one-on-one relationship. Lord, it's rough. I was reading, but this is rough, Lord. Lord, this is rough. And then the lights click out while you're in mid-prayer. And you keep praying, it's rough. It's so rough, Lord, it's dark. And then the light cut on in your eyes. And you're like, hey, wait a minute here.
Right.
I can see. If Abraham and Daniel them walked in fire and didn't have the smell of smoke on them, you ain't got to worry about nothing.
We ain't seen nothing like that.
We're not saying you don't have to worry about death, because he told you, Revelation 6 and 9, some of them got to be killed like you were. Killed like you were for his name's sake. There's a number of people on the list marked for death, and then there's a number not. Prepare yourself for the list. If you make the knot, so be it. But guess what it say? Those that are left alive shall not precede them that are dead from going in the kingdom.
They gotta wait
so
on you.
If you want to be second, you gotta wait till they get in. Wait till the line boom. Yeah, that dude one gave up their life. You gotta wait on me. You help us get up here, get up here.
Let you help us get up here.
Some stuff, y'all, we have to, and you know, this is no lash out at anybody that quote that scripture and ask. The problem we keep asking is anything on there. All we asking is, where is the location? Been asking it for 30 plus years. Where shall we go? Bunch of Negroes saying over to Petra. It's a tourist attraction. They take tickets there. How you gonna hide where they giving out tickets at? And then you want to go over here in day 3, we'll be going to the caves of Galilee over here, and you got a brochure, and this is the hiding spot. Some stuff, y'all, you just got to let go of.
Those are the weak in the faith. They weak in the faith. Verse 9, y'all check this verse 9 out. It says, behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. So if he ain't talking to you and he ain't telling you where to go yet, what you supposed to be doing? Being patient and waiting on him, doing the things that you are already supposed to be doing.
Patiently waiting while
patiently waiting. And so this is your time to be studying. Just because Netflix and Disney releasing all this stuff for free so you can stay at home and watch it, that don't mean you gotta watch it. Right. Even though you gotta watch it, even though they let it go, that do not mean that, hey, I'll just sit here now, I can watch all this stuff for free. And they taking up all your time feeding you their lies. Feeding you their lies and keeping your mind off what? What it's supposed to be on. What it's supposed to be on.
During this time.
Doing this time and in good times. Verse 10, sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise from the end of the earth. Ye that go down to the sea, and all that is therein, the isles and the inhabitants thereof. Like the wilderness and the city, let the wilderness and the cities thereof lift up their voice. The villages that Kedar doth inhabit. Let the inhabitants of the rock sing. Let them shout from the top of the mountains. Let them give glory unto the Lord and declare his praise in the islands. So this is a time that we supposed to be giving him this glory.
Yes, sir.
Giving him this glory, letting it be known. We ain't scared of nothing. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Like I said, ain't nobody out here in all these groups on this planet come together and say, Lord, have mercy on us. Ain't nobody come, they'll show up to a vigil for somebody that was killed in the droves and call on his name then. Yeah. And incorrectly.
Yeah, let the dead bury the dead.
Yeah, let the dead bury the dead. Why are they not? We got to stop killing everybody. Did y'all see that? What is it, mayor of some city told Baltimore. Yeah, say y'all got to stop shooting everybody and killing everybody. We need these beds in the hospital.
Yeah, so they let you know.
It's that bad. So
they ain't changed that program. Shit, they ain't worried about running out of ammo, is it?
Right. So do you think it's right? He did say. I'm gonna let you, man. I'm gonna let you slide, man, because somebody else gonna need that bed.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's either kill me, it's either make sure they're dead, because we ain't got a bed for them.
Well, the problem will be still the morgue overrun.
That's right. They pulling up tractor trailers in New York outside these makeshift.
For 900 bodies.
Turning to mass graves.
That's right.
Most morgues are set 800-900 bodies. That's in the big cities.
They putting bodies in tractor trailers right now.
They setting up makeshift morgues in parking lots, y'all. That's what FEMA is here for first. Now, will they turn them into camp? Who knows? But it's at least 3 years away, y'all. Mm-hmm. It's at least 3 years. The Antichrist got to clean all this up.
Right.
He's got to make you think he's the Messiah on earth. It's who everybody been waiting for. It wasn't that brother that came here 2,000 years ago. Here he go right here. This the one. Reestablish loans. 0% minus 0 on house loans.
Student loans canceled.
Work 1 week and get a month's check.
I see the right on the wall.
Go to the grocery store and just pay for half of what's in your cart. The new king has said it and all the world called him God. That wasn't 70 AD. Nero never went to Jerusalem. He sent Vaspian.
Right.
So that don't count. Mm-hmm. Y'all, we got to be careful, y'all. We scaring people, and that's that type of fear that drives you into not believing in words, because when it comes to pass, you're like, that wasn't nothing. Here it is, like a thief in the night. That's when it'll jump on you. Mm-hmm. The minute you say that wasn't about nothing, it jumps on you. Mm-hmm. So y'all, we're not telling you to overlook what's happening right now. We say your strength draweth nigh right now.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
You got to be stronger in this than becoming weak and scared and hide and running, because ain't nowhere to run to. Right. Where you gonna run outside America? You gotta have a passport. They ain't letting you out of here. They ain't letting nobody in here, and they ain't letting nobody out. What you gotta depend on? Where you gonna hide now? Mm-hmm. We can't get to Jerusalem now. Right. Y'all understand now? If it be, you be in Jerusalem. So right now we ain't in Jerusalem, man. If this is the end of the world right now, we don't get to run down into that mountain. Guess
Right.
what we gotta face?
Here.
Ain't no need of fooling ourselves.
Here. So we
Gird up your loins.
Exactly. We gonna get to that Luke 21:36. So you know it's coming. So let's go. Verse 11.
No.
13?
Yeah.
The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man.
Who shall go forth?
The Lord. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once.
Yep.
I will make waste mountains and hills and dry up all their herbs. I will make the rivers islands. I will dry up the pools. I will bring the blind by the way that they knew not. I will lead them in the paths that they have not known. Now, when I was listening to this, because I had this plan through my work thing, you know, auxiliary. And when I was hearing this being read about, I will make the paths for the blind that they have not known. And I really thought about that. Because you see people who are truly blind and can't see walking down the street with that white cane and stick, red and yellow, right? And that's when I realized it like this. For you to see a blind person out by themselves walking down the street, how are they doing that? They know the path.
Right.
They know when they reach out with that stick,
Right.
2 more steps from here should be a curb.
Right.
There's the curb. Now I know I can step up on the curb.
Right.
And then 5 more feet down here is going to be the driveway for this gas station that I'm walking by. And then we'll go down in that. So he say, I will make the blind people go in paths that they have not known.
That's deep.
And so for them to be able to go in a path that they had not known, they blind anymore? You see what I'm saying? That they actually now, I can go anywhere. I got to go now in the condition that I'm in, I can only go where I know.
Right.
And for me to go anywhere else, someone has to teach me.
Right.
Someone has to walk me through this path and let me learn this new path myself.
That's right.
Other than that, you can't go nowhere else without nobody. And he said, I will make the paths of the blinds make them go places they ain't know.
That's right.
So that's what we talking about here.
Right.
Read them. Oh, it's on me. Read.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Read on. Okay.
So, I make darkness light before them,
Right.
and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them, and not forsake them.
Right.
They shall turn back. They shall be greatly ashamed that trust in graven images, that say to the molten images, ye are our gods. Hear, ye deaf, and look, ye blind, that ye may see. Who is blind but my servant? Or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant? Seeing many things, but thou observest not. Opening the ears, but he heareth not. So the Lord is, I've been hearing a lot of people saying lately in these last few days, the Lord waking everybody up. The Lord's trying to get people to return to him.
Yeah.
Huh? He's scaring you into believing in him? He don't need you. If he got to spook you into believing in him, what kind of God is that? I'm making you serve me because I want you to serve me. That's not that gives you nothing to do with that. I serve the Lord because he's making me. That's the only reason I serve the Lord, because he's making me. If he didn't make me do it, I wouldn't do it.
That's not pure in heart.
Right, that's not pure in heart. Like he said, that's not pure in heart. So why would I, it's just like us with children, and you teach your children and train them up, so what? They don't give you problems. Right? So they don't give you problems. But the Lord is, why would he need to force me?
Right.
Nigga, get up and pray.
He say choose life.
Pray to me, nigga.
Right.
Worship me right now. Why does he need to do that to me?
Right.
He don't.
But you know who do that? Sinful Negroes.
Right.
Make men do that to them. One Negro calling himself the Holy Spirit. Now he getting delayed, but he going to the penitentiary. And one other Negro talking about he the third in command of all heaven and earth.
Wow.
Y'all ever heard such lunacy?
I don't be listening.
You ain't even heard an archangel say that.
Sure ain't.
They just typed in the chat that ISUPK is telling their people to take the vaccine.
Yeah,
They've been doing that. They've been doing that. I heard them say that a couple years ago.
Yeah.
3-4 years ago.
Take the vaccine, not the chip.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, if they tell them to take the chip, of course they're going to tell them to take the vaccine.
You said it backwards, but they get you.
Whichever.
Right. Well, what he was talking about, he was saying for the measles outbreaks, you know, but to tell somebody to put something in your body to see if it'll fight off the disease, that's Russian roulette.
Take some of this rat here.
You know what I'm saying? If your body fight it off, then that's what it is, but you can't tempt the Lord. Because what it does is it puts a virus in you so your body builds up an immune system to it. You got to build your immune system up with the truth.
Right.
And then any virus it'll fight. It's not going to fight it because you put, how you going to put evil into me and expect me to do righteous?
Right.
There you go.
Right. Right.
It just ain't gonna happen. You can't teach me to bust an old lady head coming out the check cash in place and then say cause I fed 2 families over there that didn't have nothing for Thanksgiving. Is it gonna make it right? No, you can't call evil good, and neither can you call good evil. So y'all, some of this ain't rocket science. It's just checking the scriptures, read back and forth, knowing the place, and like I say, just ask questions. People ask questions all the time. Well, Lord, can you answer me one more time? This is the last question I got. You see that all the way through the second answer. This is the last question I got, bruh. You know, talk to, well, I should say, bruh, Most High, please, one more question. If a man do this, he said, boy, how long I have to be with you?
Second Ezra.
Let me run it down to you again, but he never say, I ain't telling you nothing else. I'm tired of talking to you. He makes it plain to you, and he say, I answer all things, all mysteries. I'm not gonna leave y'all hanging with you scratching like this all day, wondering what he gonna do next. Wonder what the wilderness that we gonna flee to. Everybody got their own wilderness, though. Go on, bro.
I like to introduce a new brother.
Who was that?
When I walk outside to get some paper towels
Yeah.
from the store, from the bathroom,
You still been out there
I
preaching.
walked up on him and he said,
Welcome home, brother. Welcome home, brother.
Welcome home.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I didn't mean to say that
Man,
like that.
it'll be dropped off. It'll be, most I will, it'll be dropped off.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Hey, y'all already agreed to that.
Yeah.
That the mower
Oh,
and the
good.
air gonna drop.
Boy, that's
All praise.
That's
That's so
a
we feel.
Euclid and Martin Luther King Hunter right there, boy. You gonna get real big.
Hey, when I came back, he all like, I knew that was you. Didn't you see me dump? I ain't never seen you in that truck.
Let's get it, y'all.
Take these vaccines. There's been
Hold down, y'all.
There's been several people that have died because they took that. But
The immune system is weak if it's not ready for the virus you put in to fight it all. See, Paul wasn't given anti-venom when he reached down in Acts 28 and pulled that wood out and a viper bit him on his hand. What's
Right.
vipers, like cobras and...
Yeah, no, they poison.
They poison that kill you inside of 30 minutes. He just shook it off like that and kept getting wood.
That's a viper.
Oh, okay. What that look like?
He would have a
He just got one on his hand.
Look, he got a demon on his head. But,
He has got a ghost on his head, but that's a viper.
but what we're talking about, y'all, he wasn't worried about that. Look, and he was being shipwrecked at the time. It was cold because they were soaking wet. And to say the barbarians showed them no little kindness.
Right.
So what's the opposite of little?
Lots.
So that's what they showed him. They gave him food. They started the fire for him. But when he reached in that thing, he shook it off. And they waited for him. See, he gonna be dead in 30 seconds. No, he a god. He got to be a god. But at first they thought the sea had chased him because he was a murderer.
Right.
And the sea tore up his ship. And then they say he got out of the sea. But as soon as he left, Evil still got him, that snake baby. When he shipped that snake off and kept getting wood, they like, this man is a god. He's supposed to be dead, but that's the mindset that Paul had in. When it bit him, he didn't look like, oh, there it is, there it is. No, he just and kept it going. Y'all, that's what we're talking about, y'all, but don't let them, if you can. Right now, they're mandating certain things for children. If you come to public schools, they got to be vaccinated. Y'all, we got to pray that the Most High, their immune system is strong enough to work right through that. Because guess what? It's been working through all of the stuff they've been putting on them with the Ritalin and the other stuff. They outgrow it. They go through a spell of acting out, but they end up outgrowing it. Crack baby end up outgrowing it. They keep outgrowing it. And if you don't let them keep pumping it into them, they're going to outgrow it, y'all. Because right now, I should be full of Wuhan and everything the way I used to chase the bug truck in the project. It come through, I'm running in the bit.
Boy, you better stop.
How are you chasing the bug?
Running in poison.
So y'all, we've been already conditioned.
Grade poison.
Baby, this lightweight work right here.
Right.
If you survive the bug truck, boy, you strong as steel.
Not even, and see, and think about that, how many people have done that, and we did not realize we were running in a cloud of poison. Poison. They're spraying poison in your face, and you engulfed in it, and you running like it's the greatest thing there is. We running through, we catching the bug truck. And you're running straight through poison.
Playing basketball, getting some mama pay going, and look up at the bug truck, everybody
Take off. Take off and run. Straight after they drop it, like Eddie Murphy said, ice cream! And for us it was bug truck! And then we take off running. No, we running in poison.
I ain't never do that.
So y'all understand that means why he crazy. No, why he crazy. See,
You should have ran in the bug truck.
no, y'all, but all we saying, y'all, even blindly, he had us.
Right.
So do y'all think even more now with us knowing scriptures, he got us? That's even more. He took care of us when we was babies. And you didn't know. And like say, take care of babies and who? Food. Okay, so y'all now as grown men, we got to prep better like grown men and women.
Right.
Our conscious level have to go to another level. Don't play this virus cheap, y'all. This ain't fake news. It's bodies in them caskets.
Right.
So y'all, we want to be strong enough that we can pass this message on to the next generation.
Right.
Not all of us get took out in this virus because we're tempting the Lord. Y'all, we don't want to tempt him. We just want to show the world that we believe what's written in here. You know, and if y'all say I got to be here, y'all ain't saying I ain't got to be here. What I'm going to do, not go?
Right. And think about it. If he destroyed us, there go his word.
Yeah.
You understand? If he destroy us, his word ends.
You're right.
And it's done. And it go no forth no more.
Yeah.
Because it was given to us to teach.
Right.
So if he take away his teachers, there ain't no class.
Right.
Amen.
Let's go. Oh, still on me. Verse 20.
Right.
Brother, you're right.
Yo.
Based off what Daniel said with the project example, how he took care of us, right? How the Lord took care of us, and now most of us are grown.
Right.
Okay? In the apocalypse, in the pseudepigraph of Shadrach, the Lord said to Shadrach, I made man in 3 stages. When he is young, I look over his mistakes.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, sir.
The Lord said to Shadrach, I made man in 3 stages. When he is young, I overlook his mistakes because of his youth. Again, when he is a man, I watch over his mind. Again, when he grows old, I preserve him so that he may repent.
See?
That he may do what?
That he may repent.
So he gives us that chance, y'all. Those that make it anyway. You know what I'm talking about? Those that make it, because everybody don't get a chance to. But those that make it, the Lord explains himself. That's enough. You did in the book of Shadrach. You did. If you got it, it's page 609, but it's chapter 12. No, chapter 16, I'm sorry, y'all. Chapter 16.
No, I don't want.
Page 609, chapter 16. But start at 12. I'm telling you, start at 12 and read through 16. Oh my God.
Man, that was a cut.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That was a dash.
Yes, sir.
Shit, went through,
Chapter 16.
chapter 609.
Yeah, page 609. Right. And the pseudo picture.
All right, y'all, this is where we at. We got about 15 more minutes. So this is going to be a part 2 next week. Most I don't have to work, so I make sure I know I'll have nothing that he let us live to see next week. So it'll be we'll pick right back up where we leaving off. It'll be the same title, same class, same scripts. So y'all can study the scripts throughout the week and be prepared for them. But what we'll do, we're going to finish up this, where I am in this chapter. We're going to finish that whole chapter. And then we're going to go back and read this Isaiah 31, 1 through 6. And we'll get the prayer on. And then we are already set for next week. And it'll just be one voice crying in the wilderness part 2.
Yes, sir.
So we got plenty left to get through.
And let me just say this one thing, because we were talking about strength and time, but knowing where the strength is. He said, wisdom is for an old man, strength is for the young man. So when you reach a certain age, you can't depend on the same strength that you had as you was 28, 29. If you 60, I'm talking about physical strength, you can have more strength up here. This takes care of a man. You know, so that's all he was explaining. But what I want y'all to understand, though, is he's saying, don't challenge your strength or cause your light to go out because you're looking for somebody to look at you. And it's just a perfect example of what happened of a warrior. If you know a warrior, sometimes a warrior got to sit back and just hold his sheep. He waiting for close quarters, but you can't go into the thick of the battle. That's what the younger men are for. Right. But I just want to hit 2 Samuel. Just hit that really quick for me. 2 Samuel 20 and 2 Samuel 21 and 15 for it. And y'all, this is something about David. If David had lost this battle, we would be, the whole plan would have dropped off. But David and these are men that are around David, and what we're talking about, respect a person won't allow you to watch your brother's back, even if he's in what we call a leadership role. You still have to watch his back. You can't say, well, God is just dealing with him. You're part of the body. You have to look out for that individual as well. That's why we always say, somebody say, y'all pray for me. We like, no, y'all pray for us. That we have strength to make it back down here and teach again. Please pray for us. It ain't just coming from one direction. It's a send and receive. What we want to receive back is prayers, and yeah, we understand what you're saying. If something happened to you, we can keep the message going. But I just wanted to hit that really quick. Hit that really good.
What verse?
2 Samuel 21:15. Just
15,
the first
okay.
couple. Yeah.
All right.
This 2 Samuel 21:15, y'all. This is about King David. So we understand David was a mighty warrior, killed Goliath. But now Goliath's brothers was coming up. They giants too. Goliath was 9 feet 6, almost 10 feet tall. Here's his cousin or his brother, same thing, 6 fingers on every hand and 6 toes on every foot. That's how you know it's a giant. They're gonna always have wide shoes, y'all.
And they was working fingers.
Ronald McDonald didn't get them shoes first. They came from the Philistines. No, just go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
15, 2 Samuel 21. Moreover, the Philistines had yet war again with Israel.
Right.
And David went down, and his servants with him, and fought against the Philistines, and David waxed faint.
What does that mean, David waxed faint? Got tired. Look, you can't get tired. See, he wasn't tired when he was a young man. He knocked you out with a slingshot and then cut your head off. But this is physical war. He like this, and he's gotten a little bit older. Go ahead, what it say?
Verse 16. And Ishbi Benob, which was of the sons of the giant, the weight of whose spear weighed 300 shekels of brass in weight, and being girded with a new sword, thought to have slain David. But Abishai, the son of Zerubbabel, Zeruiah, it looked like succored him, and smote the Philistine and killed him. Then the men of David swear unto him, saying, Thou shalt go no more out with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel.
Did thou do what?
Quench not the light of Israel.
So you see how the body came in like, no, David, look, you had yours, man. Goliath still reigned high. They still saying David killed his 10,000, Saul killed his 10,000. That ain't going nowhere. But you can't come back out here, David. This scrap is at another level. And the dude thought he had slain David. Hit him, probably David blocked him with the sword and probably knocked him into the earth. Until his boys came and cut that giant down. They're like, no, Dave, you got to sit back now. You got to watch this. You can't charge out to the front like you used to.
And y'all know,
a little older. You'll quench the light of Israel.
There it is. There it is. He's like, David, we still need you. You understand? We know you're a warrior, and we warriors, and we battling, and we still going to battle. But if we let you get killed, you the one that we look to.
Right.
So if we let you go out as a light, then who else is going to step up for what you've already done? We ain't talking about his son here yet. You understand what I'm saying? So they're saying to David, we still need you. We can't allow this to happen to you. You still that light in Israel that we look to. That's our king.
You the prophecy.
That our king.
Got to come through you. You can't die yet. You can't do too much. Y'all, that's a lot of times y'all seek the Messiah duck out of trouble. It wasn't that he was scared. He told Pilate, you ain't got no power but what my father give you. I call a legion of angels right now and clean all this up. But that wasn't in prophecy. Prophecy was to go to the cross, die, be raised after 3 days. That's the prophecy. So sometimes he slide away. That ain't make him a coward. He just getting out of the way of having to do something other than prophecy. And that means slide off. But he'll come back in and cast a demon out, and that scare whoever else talking tough. Like Nicodemus sneaking around at night. These Pharisees full of BS. What I saw you do yesterday, you got to be from God. Yeah, no. So you say I got to be born again, huh? Yeah. See, that's what we're talking about, y'all. Knowing your place, knowing when. This is war, y'all. War is strategy. There's many battles in war. Some battles you don't take on, you let them be. We ain't getting into flat earth. We ain't getting into all these battles. We ain't getting into man work. We ain't getting into hiding in Babylon to hide in another spot of Babylon. Right. Ain't wasting our time. It's going to cut the light off. You're going to put yourself in harm's way. It's just you and 20 others out there amongst them Klansmen and professional hunters who know them woods hide in grass. You sitting around talking about that grass moving, they're like, man, pass the weed. They ain't gonna go ahead.
We're gonna do Isaiah 31, 1 through 6. Isaiah 31, 1 through 6 is gonna be the last script. We're gonna get the prayer on. We're gonna pick it right back up in Isaiah 42 and 10 next week. Isaiah 31, verse 1 through 6. And the closing psalm is 103.
Can I read a little bit of that, the end of that 30 and 30 and move down into them?
I'll read. You break it off.
Yeah, go ahead, read. 30 and 30, the last 3 verses of that, and then get right down to the first 31. So it's something here that he's talking about, the lake of fire. The lake of fire just wasn't talked about in Revelation. The lake of fire was talked about in the book of Isaiah. Because it's future prophecy. So when religions say, he did away with the law, he nailed it to the cross. What about the prophets? It says the law and the prophets. You missing a part. Or all the prophecies fulfilled. What about the second coming and they just looking at you? You can't let them half do y'all in this walk. It's crucial that you pay attention to the topic, the summary of what the matter is speaking of. Or they'll shift it over here and have you believe in something else. Go ahead, brother.
We're going to start at 27 to the end and then on into 31, 1 through 6.
Yes, sir.
Verse 27, Isaiah chapter 30. Behold, the name of the Lord cometh from far, burning with his anger, and the burden thereof is heavy. His lips are full of indignation, and his tongue as a devouring fire. His breath as an overflowing stream shall reach to the midst of the neck, to sift the nations with the sieve of vanity. And there shall be a bridle in the jaws of the people, causing them to err. Causing them to err. Ye shall have a song as in the night when a holy solemnity is kept, and gladness of heart, as when one goeth with a pipe to come into the mountain of the Lord, to the mighty one of Israel. And the Lord shall cause his glorious voice to be heard, and shall show the lightning down of his arm, with the indignation of his anger, and with the flame of a devouring fire, with scattering and tempest and hailstones. For through the voice of the Lord shall the Assyrian be beaten down, which smote with a rod. And in every place where the grounded staff shall pass, which the Lord shall lay upon him, it shall be with tabrets and harps, and in battles of shaking will he fight with it. For Topheth is ordained of old.
Well, what is Topheth?
The grave.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, what is it? Ordained of old.
Ordained of old.
So this goes back to the beginning.
Right.
See, when Adam failed, Topheth was already created, because in the book of Judah say it was created for Satan and his angels. So this is old that Topheth was created. Go ahead.
Right, okay. And yea, for the king is prepared.
Who is it prepared for?
The king. It is prepared. He hath made it deep and large, and piled thereof is fire and much wood. The breath of the Lord like a stream of brimstone doth kindle it. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel.
What they do?
They look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. Yet he also is wise, and will bring evil, and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers.
Of the who?
Of the evildoers, and against the help of them that work iniquity. Now the Egyptians are men, and not God.
What are they?
Men, and not God.
Go ahead.
And their horses flesh, and not spirit. And when the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall. And he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. For thus hath the Lord spoken unto me, like as the lion and the young lion roaring on his prey, when a multitude of shepherds is called forth against him. He will not be afraid of their voice, nor abase himself for the noise of them. So shall the Lord of hosts come down to fight for Mount Zion.
Who's going to come down and fight?
The Lord of hosts. And for the hill thereof. So when it says here about nor abase himself, that means no bow down yourself. No feeling like somebody's over you, that you make yourself get low to the ground as a base man. That's what it means. A base man is a low man, and you will not abase yourself. You're going to stand up and stay strong.
Base man.
Okay, a base man.
Last one picked in the game. Give me Joshua, and you 6 feet. Give me Joshua, and you standing there 6 feet high. That's the problem.
Your skills ain't working like that. You can't hit a free throw like Shaq. Verse 5.
What it say?
As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it. And passing over, he will preserve it. Turn ye unto him, from whom the children of Israel have deeply revolted.
Y'all can read the rest of that, but it's powerful. Y'all, and what we talking about, y'all, this is a time to get close to the Most High.
That's right.
To learn prophecy, y'all, and don't be shook by all the videos out there, because y'all know these videos coming from 1,000 different people and 1,000 different angles. Some people want it to end right now, to end the suffering of Israel, but you cannot leapfrog prophecy. Judas Iscariot did that. He sold the Messiah out so that he would bring the second coming then. He told me, like, Judah, I have to die. I can't take the Romans down yet. It's not time.
So are you gonna be like Judas?
Your faith,
right now,
you gonna have to die.
You gonna be like Judas right now?
Peter and them died. Peter was putting the log and sawed in half. So what we're talking about is that he told me, like, look, man, you can't rush prophecy. Y'all, we can't rush it. If you rush it, it's gonna come on you like a thief in the night. You're prepared for one event and it's coming from behind, you ain't gonna see it coming. Just like you don't see a thief in the night. When he see you walk up 3 steps and take 2 back down, he say, oh, he had too many Hennessy's. I'm getting that stereo. As soon as them lights cut off, he can wake back up and say, I'm talking about 5 minutes later, and say, I left something in the car, and go back out there, the window open, and it's a hole big enough for a water bill to fit in. You be like, hey, it got me in 5 minutes. That's how a thief come in the night, don't it?
Yes, sir.
Boy, look, I'm gonna tell y'all, for some reason, I got gas one day on the way to work. Got gas for the truck.
You better check your diet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm already knowing what I'm gonna say, so I ain't thinking like that.
Elon was working up something right there for you.
But what happened was, we see, you know, like how the Lord is there for you to where you don't. He made me one person like 1,000. What happened was, you know how when you pull up on a gas station parking lot, you know, we know the peak game and make sure things are straight before we get out, even if we strap. So, as soon as I pull up on, and like I say, the reason why I said for some reason I got gas on the way to work, my job is only 5 minutes away, and I know I wasn't finna run out. So, what I'm saying is I stopped that morning to get gas, and I seen these 2 cats milling around on the parking lot, where there was nobody there. They kept walking in and out of the store, and they would be looking in the window and stuff. And I'm like, this ain't right. So I'm at the pump. They back out on the parking lot, and you know, they weren't standing close enough in a conversation, but you know, they giving each other signs. So the dude was like, okay, he the one. You know what I'm saying? So he giving the dude the sign to me that I'm the one they finna get. All I did when I put one in the chamber, by me being under the awning of the pumps, it echoed.
And you know that sound.
So dude's like this. I'm standing there at the pump, the dude's like, okay, so he started stepping to me when I did, because he couldn't see me, I have a dog. So when I hit that one in the chamber, that one steps in, not him. Look. He ain't the one. So this is what I'm saying, that's how the Lord made me one person into an army of 1,000, just by that echo he provided for me. Just let that nigga know, don't you keep coming over here. Don't you keep coming. He prevented me from having to shoot first. I'm gonna get you before you hit me.
Cause if you know that sound, and most of us know that sound, you can be sleeping in the barbershop, they can be talking and all. And I told them if you do this, I told them somebody come in there like this, click up, hey, wait a minute, what's going on?
That's right.
You gonna come out of a deep sleep, they can be arguing, others ready to fight, you be like this, let that game flat.
That's right.
What the hell going on right here?
So, we thank the Lord. We thank the Lord for allowing us to be able to assemble today.
Through all them trials and tribulations you just talked about.
Yes, sir.
Even if you tell him to do it, he's gonna bring you through.
That's right. That's what we're talking about. That's why we're here. So, we welcome you, brother. We pray, if it be His will, we see you again. What we hit on today, just to give you a real quick briefing of, the class is called One Voice Crying in the Wilderness, and we were going through scriptures of God's people at these times where we're supposed to stay strong and not worry about what we're going through. So next week we're going to finish that. So if you're able by His will to make it again next week, that's what we're going to continue on. And we'll make sure we get you the scripts. We'll get you the scripts and all that.
Yes, sir. And if any of y'all, look y'all, like I say, we tentatively still scheduled for the Passover. I'm gonna get right at you.
Okay.
For Wednesday, April the 8th, y'all, unless we get a change, y'all, if they tell us no, the city locking us down, we're gonna move it 30 days, y'all, according to Numbers the 9th chapter. I want y'all to read Numbers the 9th chapter. See, it's a man unclean in this journey. We're in a journey, but it's uncleanness out here. The virus is out here. So we may have to push it back to get past that quarantine state. But we have to do it as one body, y'all. You cannot, if you decide, no, I'm going to go ahead and do it just me and my family, by all means do the Passover like that. But you cannot get in on the second. You cannot do 14 days of unleavened bread. Or you just like to eat. And you bouncing from house to house eating. No, this ain't Christmas. You ain't going from house to house eating, seeing what somebody got. 7 days of unleavened bread and you eat lamb the day before. Or in the same meal. And then it's cut off. If we have it 30 days later, you do it, you cannot join in. You can be a servant at the event. And serve the wine for the people, become a servant, hand them out, make sure everybody got their bitter herbs, and you standing back and just watching them partake in the Passover appointment needed, y'all, but you cannot do two. Don't get caught up in this, y'all. We had some brothers last time that heard somebody else doing the second one. They was there too, man. Forks and spoons just like this. Wait.
You're going to have another one next month.
Like this, wait, ready to go. You like, no, you ready to go too much. This is just an eating contest for you.
It's like an eating.
What you got, what you got, bro?
All right, we're going to get this closed in prayer with the Most High's permission. In the name of His only begotten Son, our Lord and Savior, our uncrowned King, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach.
Yes, sir.
We know him as Jesus the Christ, y'all. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 103rd chapter, it reads, Bless the Most High, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless His holy name. Bless Yahweh, O my soul, and forget not all His benefits, who forgiveth all thine iniquities, who healeth all thy diseases, who redeemeth thy life from destruction.
Yes, sir.
Who crowneth thee with loving kindness and tender mercy, who satisfieth thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like the eagles. Yahweh executeth righteousness and judgment for all that are oppressed. He made known his ways unto Moses, his acts unto the children of Israel. The Most High is merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and plenteous in mercy. He will not always chide, neither will he keep his anger forever. He hath not dealt with us after our sins, nor rewarded us according to our iniquities. For as the heaven is high above the earth, so great is his mercy toward them that fear him. As far as the east is from the west, so far hath he removed our transgressions from us. Like as a father pitieth his children, so Yahweh pitieth them that fear him.
Yes.
For he knoweth our frame.
That's right.
He remembereth that we are dust. As for man, his days are as grass, as a flower of the field, so he flourisheth. For the wind passeth over it, and it is gone, and the place thereof shall know it no more. But the mercy of the Most High is from everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear him.
Yes.
And his righteousness unto children's children, to such as keep his covenant, and to those that remember his commandments to do them.
That's right. That's right.
The Most High has prepared his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom ruleth over all. Bless Yahweh, ye his angels, that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word. Bless ye the Most High, all ye his host, ye ministers of his that do his pleasure. Bless Yahweh, all his works in all places of his dominion.
That's right.
Bless the Most High.
Yes.
Oh, my soul. Hallelujah! Say
Y'all, we really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Again,